Being said, we're here. First map, and it's going to be Abyss. What's the composition here? Any changes from update views to previously? Don't think so.
I don't believe so. No, both teams are sticking to the same composition. I mean, this worked for Full Sense. They are the ones with the wins on Abyss. Meanwhile, for Kimmy Kittens, you know, maybe not quite the wins, but they did make it really close against Alter Ego. This was back in the upper semis where they got knocked down into the lower bracket. They were running this double controller comp with the Teo, so it went to overtime back then, and that, you know, means that they do have a pretty good chance at pushing Full Sense to their limits on this first map as well.
Sure. Well, with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Map number 1 is underway. Again, Kimmy Kittens and Full Sense butting head to head. So this goes as going to be Kimmy Kittens on the attacking side, looking to get started here on the A main push, or excuse me, B main push, as Ja is going to be holding on to mid. Standard play for Full Sense here to start reeling in 4 of their players onto mid right now, and Ja might open a can of worms if he just gets spotted by like 4 players of the Thai team.
Yeah, push up from mid, something that they don't expect, because they spotted that many players, they sense that the B side is clear, they got the spike down, and that is a pretty huge advantage as well. But then now spotted off at the camera. Vera tries to, alright, get into a safer spot, pull the tag out. Wayne around the edges. They just tap through the smoke. Vera getting 2. What? Wayne with the right click off to the end, and now it's just Killua.
Oh! Nice little tap there from Killua. Again, still in a 2 versus 1. Has to deal with this. Loses the bullets. Both of them actually do, but it's a 2 versus 1. But the reposition from Styro might cost him his life. Does have to concuss first. Goes around, doesn't hit it just yet, and the tap from Killua actually doesn't give him that chance to fight back against Styron. Loses the pistol, and that's going to be Kimmy Kittens on the board.
Yeah, it's already a quick pistol round. I mean, especially with a mid-round decision, you know, quick to how they are able to read the map. But I think the biggest thing was how Vera just... You know, sometimes you're able to read this off of the things like, okay, why did they tag me with the camera that quick? And they must be close by. So he just checks the smoke. But that lone decision nets him 2 kills and really gives Kimmy Kitten such a huge numbers advantage. Still sick flick from Killua, though, so we shall keep our eyes on how the rest of the round plays out. It's Full Sense pushing down straight into the Spectres. Vera sprays and prays, and he gets 3 kills.
Yeah, that's Kimmy Kittens. Again, just compressing, using their numbers advantage, and just bullying with the better weapons against Full Sense on an eco. Down to Laz. And he's just going to be lurking somewhere on their side of the map. Potentially. Oh. Okay, interesting. I thought he was going to just try to maybe use the time, you know, to talk with the rest of Full Sense, but they just want to go straight for the gun round. All right, interesting.
Go next. Jesus, take the mouse and keyboard. All right.
All right.
I mean, they have been pushing out for the past 2 rounds on defense, Asteroid.
Yeah.
So, yeah, not really being able to get a full read on how Kimmy Kittens have been trying to push, other than like possibly colliding headfirst into them. But now we have the first buy, the first full buy from Full Sense, and looking to conserve that.
I feel like it's still the same thing. They're going to try to just butt heads again and then see where it takes them, right? They've broken some of the util already. I think Laz's camera has been destroyed. Here comes the setup. Wow. Vera does have this setup with the paranoia play, but no one's hiding in the corner here. So he's just probably going to hold the angle up until maybe the smoke dissipates and he charges right in. Laz might want to go through here and actually get a chance. Hits a nasty little tap onto Styron, and the retake is slowly beginning from Full Sense. That being said, though, look at Ja. If Kimmy Kittens is able to delay this, he might be able to get himself a good timing with that flank. He also needs to set up the stars, though, have a good timing on that gravity well, or else it's going to be curtains for them. The reposition from Wayne just gets blasted, and here comes Vera inside the smoke, delaying for as long as he can. Not going to happen, and Ja does not have a successful flank, so that's going to be Full Sense answering back against Kimmy Kittens.
Quick and steady, you know, just setting themselves up with the utility on the site, and Kimmy Kitten's trying to go in with a quick burst. I think that was, you know, that execute with Vera up on top, playing around the smokes. And that would have worked, but Full Sense showed the patience to work around it. Laz finding that timing to actually push on through just as the smoke was about to dissipate, getting the kill onto the next player, the Teo. Like, that's so much more value. And especially with the fact that Sephiroth was watching the flank that took down Ja, and that kind of made all the difference as well. So, I mean, Full Sense, definitely they have what it takes. They have been one of those teams that has been trying to, make it all the way through Ascension as well. But we shall see how this all continues to play out with Kimmy Kittens now in with the full buy. Bear has a Blade Storm.
Alright, there it is. Ooh, it's not gonna happen a second time. Laz has figured it out, the formula. And here it comes, the defense. The Iron Squad of Full Sense. It's gonna be quite difficult to just break down, and Sephiroth holds his own for the moment here. Wayne has to back away. Wingman pushes him back. And now it's a 2 versus 4. Make that 1 versus 4 as Jaw gets just sniped at the back of the site. It's all down to him. And look at this. Like a pack of wolves chasing their prey into a corner, and that's going to be Full Sense just equalizing. And Kimmy Kittens just had no answer.
Yeah, that's Plankton stealing the Krabby Patty secret formula up in the smoke. Like, twice in a row you make that play, and Lash just goes for the check, which really tells you how cognizant and how aware some of these Full Sense players can be. But I assume off a play like that, yes, Kimmy Kittens, you want to keep hitting the B side because you've already conditioned them to, respect this hit, to check those smokes, and that's where Kimmy Kittens can create some openings as well. So Blade Storm up. They might not have, the biggest buys. There's a Guardian on Crazy Guy, but still an opportunity nonetheless. So it's different smoke this time.
Yeah, you gotta mix things up, right? It's just, you don't want to get shot again. It's just a bit of an adjustment here. And okay, it's interesting that it's been always B for the most part, but I don't know if that's like the worst thing for them. He will get spotted, of course, quite quickly with that drone. Armageddon has been used as a delay tactic here. Vera repositions. And this is getting a little bit interesting. No picks just yet. Here comes the charge. Vera. Oh, this is difficult for him. Leviathan and the rest of Full Sense are coming in. First good shot on to the Jet. Any delay tactics? It's going to be to start with the Gravity Well as they try to burn as much time as possible. Wade into the corner. Nice little spray. Takes down Leviathan. Still, no one is starting to go for the defuse, but that smoke, it could... Thing started, but no, it just stops. It just drops, and there you go. John Crazy Guy able to convert the round win off of such great delay tactics.
That was awesome, Master. It just stops and drops. Then that line's gonna keep ringing in my head for the rest of the cast. But yeah, it really was, and you can really see this is what Kimmy Kitten's game plan is, especially with a mid-range composition like this. You got the 2 Sentinels, and you have the 2 Initiators and the 2 Controllers as well. So engulfing the site in smokes, getting the spike down, and then hanging back to allow players like Styron to send in the salvo, send in the concuss, and also to spam through and because of that, they are able to delay and take down Full Sense as they try to retake. This round, though, changing things up. We're back towards a bit of a slower default, checking things out towards mid. Full Sense, they might have spotted some of it out, so kind of getting the read that maybe it's a potential A hit, but we also kind of want to check and hold for vents, and that's why they're all positioned up towards Heaven right now. But I don't know. They kind of vacated the A side, right?
I feel like it might be just because they're feeling a lot more confident on the retake. I mean, they are just maybe assisting Leviathan real quick here, just so that he doesn't get overwhelmed on mid. But because of that, it has, as you mentioned, vacated that A side. Maybe just that tiny bit of opening, that tiny bit of rotate for Full Sense might cost him this site. That being said, though, Killua is going to be using the goop. Just stop the push for a split second. Here comes the red. Oh, no! Wait, is that a drop? Oh, no. Hey, they didn't drop. That's a great flash, though. Killua able to get value off of his Dizzy. Now, here comes the second push of Kimmy Kittens. The first take did not work out so well for them, but as the numbers, as well as the dust settles, it is a numbers advantage for Kimmy Kittens for the moment. Potter has an operator in hand. I don't know if it's going to make it easier for him to go for a charge, or we'll just, swap weapons. Oh, they're going to go for an aggressive push. I wonder if this is going to work. The charge out, but Kimmy Kittens very prepared for it.
Oh my god. Potter, you mad lad. That's insane. Like, no clear flash, and then you push through a smoke. And within, like, such close range, you're really confident to go in for a quick flick, a quick scope. But unfortunately, it's not meant to be found in that moment. If he did, though, that would have been, a possible opportunity for Full Sense to retake. But nonetheless, that will be an op lost down in the wind. Full Sense struggling to buy back up. Meanwhile, Kimmy Kittens, they're continuing to play, you know, a variety of executes all across the map, and this is toying with Full Sense's, well, senses.
Ah!
Yeah. Hey!
Hey! Good job. Caster synergy right there. But you're absolutely right. Oh, that burned the dash from Potter, though. Very good use on that guided salvo. Because again, the trade-off is you're gonna not have it for 40 seconds, but the other dude is not gonna have it until he gets 2 kills. So I like it. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah. So being able to kind of recover and continue collecting on that space for now. Full Sense trying to sort of work on some of the gaps that they might have had from the previous rounds, right? So taking active space outside of A main now, and that informs them that nobody's around A. We have a good chance at possibly stacking up one of the other sides, and that would be B, maybe mid as well. Hence all of them kind of currently positioning themselves around this. Kimmy Kittens are thinking about selling a bit of a fake as well as mid-rounding it back to A site, though. And that all depends on how Crazy Guy does with his little scouting mission down A main right now.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty big because, Crazy Guy. Okay,
Time
he's
as
going to
well.
play. All right, drone first. That's going to showcase a bit of a ruse here. It is forcing a little bit of that rotate, but as long as Killua doesn't spot out any other extra numbers from Kimmy Kittens, that's probably going to be the other side, right? It's going to be a B take here, but the ruse has not really been played super well. Still, though, the push, they had like 10 seconds, and they wiped out Full Sense. That was very close from Kimmy Kittens, but it says, you know, it's very surgical how they approached that fight. Very close to the timer, but still able to manage.
Yeah, without a doubt. You would have wanted to see, you know, kind of how the kills went down on the B side, but off of a loss like that, especially in the first half, on their map pick, it makes sense for Coach Salif of Full Sense to call in a bit of a tactical timeout, you know, work on some of the issues currently, because they've tried to go for active map control. Even though they had the right read for it, they weren't quite ready for the way that Kimmy Kittens would have executed into the B site. So some of these adjustments needing to be made currently right now. And I think that kind of comes down to how you are holding and positioning yourself around the B side as well. I mean, they have had successes before, but that's when they had, you know, better firepower and things like that. Now that Kimmy Kittens is meeting them equally with full force, it's a little bit trickier, and I'm not fully, you know, aware of how that's going down because we didn't really get to watch how that fight went down in the previous round.
Yeah. I don't know how this also kind of bodes for Full Sense, because I'm trying to look at the, you know, the stats on their Abyss map and see maybe, maybe Full Sense is just weaker on the defending side, but on their previous games, they're actually like equal results on both the attacking and defending sides. When they were playing against Alter Ego, they show how strong their attacking side is. When they were going up against Z11, they showed how strong their defending side is. I don't know, maybe that's just enough information
Data?
for Kimmy Kittens to just, data to create a counter strategy. But again, that being said, right, Kimmy Kittens doesn't really have, I feel like, a very strong first contact set of util, in the sense that they might throw a flash with Killua and YOLO, a Dizzy and whatnot, but Kimmy Kittens can react very quickly to that and just punish, I feel, because of the Teho. Even if they try to, hide in the corner, which, again, Teho is very strong at clearing at.
You would be right. And a lot of that does come down to some of the, composition and what your toolkit provides, but currently at least, Kimmy Kittens recognizing that this was off of a timeout. They're going to take their time and approach this tactically. So a bit of a fake towards B, but then Vera in with the execute on towards the A site. Wayne has already snuck towards the back with the TP alongside the salvos, which is just buying him a little bit more space as well. Hunter's Sphere deployed to try to deny the spike plant, and it does allow for all of Full Sense to get in.
Yeah, this is very good right now for Full Sense because they do have Cosmic Divides. Could be answered as well by Ja, who did survive that ultimate. But, the timing! The push out from Leviathan and Killua, and it's just beautiful. They're able to retake this site without really much resistance from Kimmy Kittens here, and it's just, Crazy Guy left stranded, spotted out. Wait, but Sephiroth? Okay, kind of interesting. But they still should be around for Full Sense. And that was just a solid retake. They timed it so well. The simultaneous jump out just caught Kimmy Kittens off guard.
Not buying in the fakes. Yeah, I think this is what Full Sense is doing so good and you know, really right all throughout this entire first half as well. Although they aren't really coming up with, you know, a huge win streak currently, especially now that you have Potter on the op, he is taking a lot of info sight lines, even with the, you know, bits of utility being sent towards the B site. He knows well enough that, all right, maybe this is just a drone. I'm not hearing too many footsteps. It's going to be a bit of a fake to, you know, sell us on the B site when the actual spike is headed over onto A. So all of that utility, the ultimates, 2 ultimates from Full Sense to take that retake down, hopefully they are able to chain more rounds together. Again, the camera alongside Leviathan now spots them out, but Kimmy Kitten's just full committing into the side already.
Yeah. Change up a little bit here. No one's going to be inside or in the window just yet. Double shock dart, so it does stop the plant for the moment. Paranoia does not hit Leviathan, but that recon dart sure will with the follow-up from Crazy Guy. Vera able to find Laz as well at the back of the site as the smoke dissipates. It's winds of change on this round in particular. Vera spots out the heat, the brunt of the remaining forces of Full Sense, and just backs away. Has the numbers advantage with the rest of Kimmy Kitten, so all they really have to do is just try to go elsewhere. Potter now sets it up. Tries to go for an alley-oop, but that smoke is just making it so damn difficult.
Whoa.
And Vera spots out a retreating Killua, and that should be that. Save the operator to fight just for another round, or maybe play for the exits. Potter, oh, he's hearing a bunch of that jumping. Does not want to take that heat. But he is trying to escape slowly but surely. Around the corner he is. And I think he's just able to just barely get out.
Yeah, gonna be able to hold on to that op. You got 2, well, counting this one, it would be 3 rounds left in this first half to try to, you know, give yourself a bit of an advantage going into the next. But it's, for now, you know, it's Kimmy Kitten's holding on to that momentum because they've been conditioning Full Sense to think about fakes for the past like 2-3 rounds in a row now. A simple hit into the A site kind of brought them that pacing and timing into the site quickly enough that they found numbers advantage towards the end as well. So we shall continue to see how this op pays off for Full Sense, currently holding the info sight line towards A main, not providing too much at the moment. It's just info lines. Kimmy Kitten's still working across the map, taking up the alt orbs.
Ooh, that's a shock dart. It just, you know, just blaz a little bit, you know, just to wake him up. Get a jolt
Electrified him.
Yeah. It's a lot more of a slower approach here from Kimmy Kittens as well. I think they're also trying to be mindful that there is still that operator and they want to figure out where it is. They have used at least a drone already to start. Oh, that is... Okay, he's just going to dash away. Get out with bloody murder. And the smoke to cover his tracks. Repositions on the top of the site. Loving the sequence here from Full Sense.
You see how Potter held that angle? Very mindful. Very demure. I'm playing. But he's... Yes, you're right. He's able to retreat and then hold the secondary line down. But now, Armageddon committed just to push him off of the site. He's trying to hold an elevated angle, which might still allow him to see and spot something, especially if players try to get up ahead towards heaven. But right now, Starin planting in towards, you know, a separate spot. Ja holding out towards mid, trying to create a little bit more pressure. Now, pushing in with the shorty, the wing gets shut down by Leviathan. Crazy Guy able to hold off towards the back. Ja in with additional support once again. But unfortunately, his teammates are now down. A 1-on-2. Potter pulls out the blades, and he is looking for a head. Wingman to create a bit more pressure on the defuse, but Gravwell denies that completely, and Ja has to peek. Killua has the op, whips the first shot. Oh, comes in for the spray transfer. Ja able to land the 1-on-2 clutch.
Oh, bro, did not hit, had a whiff, and got diffed. Oh, brother, that has gotta hurt. This was a sick shot throw from Leviathan, but I mean, the efforts right now of Full Sense, you can really feel it. But again, that whiff shot from Killua, he had his teammate. Potter was committed to just diffusing that spike. You see Ja's face, and he's... Yeah, I did just a sick play. Put out in the highlights. you know, put it on social media right now. That was a crucial round for Kimmy Kittens, because if not, Full Sense step closer as well in their economy. Well, lost bonus, but still, man, that was a sick play from Ja.
Hands down, dude. That might have just won them this first half. But we shall see if this full buy pays off for Full Sense, because once again, it's an op. This time in the hands of Potter again as well. The trip, though, a little bit different this time, and it catches onto Vera. That's already huge value for Full Sense, as Laz tries to anchor around the site, plays around his teammate Leviathan up from the top of rafters. Crazy Guy to refrag, but down to a 2-on-3. KK, a spike stranded away from them.
Okay, it seems like Ja has shown himself. Okay, he's trying to give a smoke. I think just so that Crazy Guy may be able to cross safely onto the sideline here while the 2 versus 1 happens. And Crazy Guy's already on the corner, able to sneak his way in. Does get the kill onto Laz, but it's a 2 versus 1, and he still has to deal with the verticality of that fight. And Killua spots him out, shuts him down, and that's going to be a 7-4.
Last round in the half.
Yeah, last round of the first half now, as the game's voice speaks out. But I think what really swapped up around this round, and what really gave Full Sense the advantage was Laz. Especially with those trips, he actually, you know, maybe not fully calculated onto how Vera might have executed, but it's a very common thing, right? Especially for Jets to try to get back sight. So dashing in that way this time, he kind of gets caught by it, and Laz was able to play off that little moment. So once again, Kimmy Kittens with another, you know, seeming approach towards the B site.
Okay.
Oh, look at that trip!
Interesting. Okay. Dash through. Was he able to get through with it? But the question is, does he know the Laz is right there? But he unloads with the right click, and that is a sure balls take onto the B site. Here comes the push from Vera and Crazy Guy, but it does get stopped by the Dizzy, so they're just trying to deal with what is left of the remnants of the defense of Full Sense, while the rest of the other players are still trying to go for this rotate. Hunter's Fury has been used from Full Sense. It is last round already, so they are going to be committing to this fight. No flanks whatsoever from Kimmy Kittens, and this is a full commit into a 4 versus 3 in site-to-site battle for the post plant. Potter going to start the spear tip for the defense for the retake. It's a bit of a sandwich here. One in the back, one in the front, and he will get just hit and destroyed by Styron. Left into Sephiroth and Leviathan. This is pretty tricky. Leviathan is holding on to the operator as well, and Sephiroth's down to 7. If he gets a pick, maybe, but there's a gap inside the smoke. Allowed Ja to pick up Leviathan, and Wayne on Sephiroth.
And we are back in with the second half now between Full Sense as well as Kimmy Kittens. The first half ended with a 4-8 Aserai.
And pretty back and forth, honestly. I think the only thing we're seeing right now from Kimmy Kittens is just how coordinated this strike team is. Right? Is it Crazy Guy that's been IGLing for the Kittens? Because
yes.
I do remember that he was, you know, the one from Bleed before.
Back from Bleed, yes.
Yeah, and, you know, I think it also is showing right now with the leadership against Kimmy Kittens. That being said, it just had a very nasty Potter one-tap with the Sheriff. Vera's going to have to hold mid right now because they've lost a good amount of defense already. Again, considering how big this Abyss map truly is, the Pika from Styron just completely flubbed as Killua gets him. And this is just allowing potentially Full Sense to have an easier site take, as it's just, again, these slow peaks little by little.
It's, I mean, you're able to overwhelm with numbers at this point. Full Sense slow creeps back and forth across the map, and it's causing a lot of question marks in the KK players' heads. Crazy Guy now comes into his team, but is he able to receive the hit? Ooh, that's a huge dink.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, but he can't really pick through this corner right now, or else it's going to be curtains for him, and that's going to be that. Vera and Wayne slowly encroaching into the site for the retake, but it's a 5 versus 2. Smoke dissipates inside the Cypher cage. Vera knows, but he's whiffing the shots. That is not good for him. Thankfully enough, Wayne did not panic too much as he was getting pushed. Vera, very little time before that tailwind dissipates, and look at this already. One around the corner, spots out another, tries to go for the challenge, but it's the multi-peak that just gives Full Sense that edge. 1 versus 1, at least with Sephiroth and Wayne, and Sephiroth wins that one, and Full Sense picks up their own pistol round here on the second half.
And that would give them, you know, a bit more wind in their sails for the rest of this half as well. You know, starting things off 8-4, but now with the pistol rounds picked up, potential 6-8. And if they can pick up the bonus as well, that would be even more. And it really comes down to how I think they played or subverted some of the expectations of the KK players, because they often tend to be a team that just kind of works together with a cohesion, right? But back then, it was just the singular peek against Ja, and then back in towards mid, taking those players down bit by bit. Straight into the A side this time, especially with the Phantom sprays. KK tried to play around the smokes.
Oh! Was it? Okay, I thought that was a guided salvo, maybe to get a kill. Look at the HPs for full sense, though.
Yeah.
Dwindling with Kilo, Laz, and especially Potter, who's down to just 3. It's a fight that, at least, you know, Kimmy are okay getting as much HP damage as they can, rather than, you know, but these type of interactions, you just never know what's going to be the outcome. Vera is down to 10. Crazy Guy was taken out of the board already. The re-peek from Kimmy Kittens is going to follow through, but... Oh, no, not like this. Sephiroth and Kilo, though, making quick work. Still 3 versus 1, as Wayne is the only one left standing. He's got a whole enchilada right now in terms of util. Potentially could smoke himself to get closer and get a pick, maybe even a paranoia to set things up for himself. And there it is. Interesting. Everybody is backed away from full sense. He sees the camera, spots it out himself, and he's just gonna, well, again, try to bait it out. Called out the gravity well quite quickly. They know that he's off it almost immediately, and as the smoke dissipates, pop-up shot, and they can't really find him. Now they do. Now it's just going to be Sephiroth with a 3K and a clean round, say at the least, for full sense.
Pop, yeah. I mean, it was a classic, so, you know, just trying to find what he could. But it's also, I think, already a good little round for Kimmy Kittens as well. Being able to rob 2 rifles, was it 2 rifles? 2 guns away from, or 2 kills away from full sense, to say the least. However, I do think this might be one of the key pieces of utility for this current round, which would be that Killua, off of these little moments back and forth, maybe even the Altorbs as well, he has his Thrash! That might really give them so much value, and possibly converting the bonus as well.
Yeah. I'm not sure how strong it is going to be on Abyss when you can play 2F, but at least you know that, yeah, you're already seeing that, as you mentioned, right? But if you're playing on street level, you really have to just respect it. If you try to fight against it, you're just down. Ja, though, what a shot from him. Shock darts just to try to break the plant, and it actually works out in their favor. So it's a 1-for-1 trade, but there is damage done already against Kimmy Kittens. Bison and the rest of full sense here. Now shifting up where they're going to be planting the spike. It's going to be the back of the site. So this actually will anchor the rest of full sense to just hold the angle here. Potter is in a time where he just wants to fight for this. And did they stop it? Yes, they did. Okay. Did a Thrash? Gets no value, at least for the moment. Bear's gone in for the dash already. Spots out one, and Potter just could not react in time. Now they know Kilo is back to the site, and he is a monster of a player to deal with. But there it is. Crazy Guy wins out the battle. The IGL, the leader, and the clutcher, at least in this round. Kimmy Kitten's back on board.
That's just an insane round for both sides. I can't believe that that's how it went down. And you're absolutely right. You know, if you're gonna play on the streets, you're gonna have to respect that Thrash. I think Kimmy Kittens did a really good job of dealing with that, though, as did full sense, because using the Thrash to instantly clear out the site, you kind of know where your opponents would be. It's either 2F or somewhere towards the back of CT, and that's then where they were able to find him. And I think that's how Killua had that position in the off angle as well. But KK, as soon as the second round of that Thrash went out, they sprayed it down so quick, and they found even more players off of that. So round picked up now, bonus denied, full sense trying to fight back, in with an Outlaw and Sephiroth.
Yeah, Outlaw is such a bully of a weapon right now. I think, like, even if you're up against, you know, full shielded opponents. Hold on, there's a little bit of a gap there. Styron realizes it as well. Backs away. Here comes Potter and the rest, but that blind is sublime. Killua now gets the pick onto Wayne. That's going to be the plant onto the spike, but they get damage. Hold on. Styron, though, gets the retreating Killua, and again, this is pretty dang close between these two teams. Sephiroth, was he able to set up a star or something for that post plant? Yes, he was able to, so at least a potential gravity well is there. Never mind, he does get knocked off. Diffuse gets started, but no one supporting Styron. Okay, Kimikitten's getting a little bit too over-eager with the pushes and whatnot, and it just backfires. Look at this, the sequencing, the holding of hands between Full Sense gives him that beat. Shock Dart, though, gets it, finds Leviathan. 1 versus 1, but time? I don't think he has enough, so yeah, Crazy Guy might just have to retreat and give up this round.
Yeah, that's a deep sigh as well. I do believe they really felt as though they had a pretty good chance of sealing that round, but unfortunately kind of handed it over onto Full Sense as well. I mean, lovely attempts from both sides with the Outlaws, but Full Sense with a full commit, the full hit into the B site. It kind of threw off some of the Kimikitten's players as well. I think especially Wayne, you know, feeling that much pressure from that Dizzy especially, and if your teammates are not nearby to kind of break that down early on. He was forced to run out with the Judge, didn't have the range, and then the rest of the team to kind of fall through after that as well. So you're starting to see how much value Killua is providing to Full Sense currently. 19 kills and 11 deaths, and his util is doing so much.
This is what they were kind of hoping for. I was expecting, again, you know, maybe the lack of another dedicated flasher would hurt them, but you're absolutely right. With Killua, how he's just interacting with Kimikitten's in this offensive side is just night and day from what we saw in the first half. Now, Kimikitten's, you know, pushed back a little bit here, especially with the weaker weapons that they'll have. Do they have any smokes right now from Wayne? I think they saved everything so that they can play closer in the post plant. Here comes the retake as Vera coming through around the corner. There's a Thrash already! Oh! No mistakes were made! The AoE connects onto Vera. That just sucks! And this is just not looking too hot. Damage be done, though, onto Killua as he eats the Stinger. Tries to go for the cross. Here comes the Hunter's Fury as well. Does that create the space? Looks like it might be able to do so. Leviathan's been spotted as well already here. It's a 2 versus 3. Smoke. Does it really give anything? Looks like no. And again, it's a 1 versus 1. But Crazy Guy is on the flank, and again, he has no real position to really stop that defuse, and he just gets caught by the Event Horizon, unfortunately, as Full Sense clutches it out.
And well, for Sephiroth tried to go for the Vandal as well, so he's going to stick onto the Outlaw 4 now, which actually could work out still, because Ja can only afford the Light Shields. There is like a slight possible disconnect as to how Kimikittens are trying to retake right now, right? You know, you're seeing how they're trying to hold these positions and trying to initiate the fight after the spike goes down, but it's small things like not anticipating that the Thrash would be used again. You know, we just saw it a couple rounds ago, but Killua already has it once again, and it connects with the AoE, so things like that really hurting Kimikittens for now, but the score not entirely tied up yet. KK still has a chance, and right now, with a couple of shots fired through into the A site, a couple more Kimikitten's players are, you know, forced to stack on towards this portion of the map.
Now, how does Kimikitten's, you know, progress from this, right? Because I think we're seeing the lack thereof in terms of their defense. And you're absolutely right. It's not yet over for them. Okay, hold on. Very early use. Oh, I've never seen that interaction before. Yeah, that you could get the hit by the camera, and then it just brings it with you back if you do not commit from the shadows. Anyways, how does the defense work out here? Crazy Guy playing very close into the corner. Cosmic Divide immediately, and then oh no, the rotation just gets caught. That's 2 players. That's not looking too hot. Ja is gonna have to go big on this one. The run around as he tries to run and gun for the pick. Unfortunately, Potter's right there for the refrag, and this just leaves, well, Wayne and Styron to fend off the offense of Full Sense. And again, the problem from this one is, well, they don't have the positioning. They might have just again leave the round and save it.
Yeah, we've seen this several times now, right? It's definitely starting to come to a bit of a screeching halt. Meanwhile, for Full Sense, they're just revving their engines round after round, being able to tie up the score now. We started this second half with an 8-4 scoreline, but we're now at a 9-9, you know, after the round actually finishes playing out. But that said, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Alexar calls a timeout pretty soon, because it does feel as though the KK fellas kind of need it. Because it's... Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, like, if it's just information or being able to fight against some of these sight hits from Full Sense. But whatever it is, it's just not currently working out the way that they intend to.
Yeah, I think we're seeing KB Kitten's struggle. Yeah, is it there? Yeah, no timeouts just yet. But I think you're absolutely right. I feel like Kimmy Kitten's the biggest problem for here is their mid control and the timing on those rotations. I think they can't find the gist of when Full Sense actually go for a play, and then once they see those big, utilities being dropped, big ultimates being used, they're like, let's just go, see how it works. But then Full Sense, we got a trap on the middle. You get caught. That's an opening for us.
Okay. But at least for now, starting to from the shock dart, he heard the audio cue for sure, so knows that it is going to be an A hit. Everyone rotates over just as quick.
It's going to be a fight, real big fight between the two teams. Recon Dart's already used. The push out from Kilowatt and Laz. A little bit too greedy here from Full Sense. As Kimmy Kittens, they just brought in the entire landscape of their roster to come in for the flank. Oh my gosh, that was a little bit tricky there as Sephiroth got through the smoke. Could have gotten a double spray transfer. Very scary, but somehow Kimmy Kitten managed.
Yeah, almost landed the initial flick, but I think got a little bit overwhelmed spotting two players, especially one of them being on the drone as well, right?
Yeah.
But ultimately, this round, it's just a quick sort of setup and then a read from Kimmy Kittens. See, Crazy Guy doing a bit of the heavy lifting back there because he had that shock dart, instantly heard and knew, all right, they're committing, let's just play around this, and being able to hold out from the ropes as well. It truly broke apart some of the Full Sense players on their initial assault. So there we have it. Now that they can afford that full buy, trying to convert that into even more rounds, Coach Alexar intervening with that timeout being called.
Just have to, discuss things a little bit more here. And what's kind of interesting
especially
about that
Crazy Guy, yeah.
Yeah. And especially with how what are they calling this one? How it's coming off of a round win as well. I think they're also trying to formulate, oh guys, this worked out for us. Again, this is just pure speculation, right? But this is how it works. It looked better when we have more of a response immediately on B rather than A. So maybe we just play here, or again, we'll have to see how that kind of pans out. Seems like they're not going to be, brute forcing their way into that one. They're actually going to be, what, is this right? Yeah. So Mateo's not going to be on mid anymore. It's going to be Crazy Guy that's going to be playing on mid with the Sova. So I do like that. It's a safer way to just see the rotation of Full Sense on mid. You just have to space out your utility a little bit better, a little bit not too haphazard with it. In any case, it's Full Sense just trying to see a bit of that contact. It's sniper on sniper battle, but my operator is bigger than your Marshall, and Vera just shows to us the power.
Damn, that's one hell of a way to call out the sniper duel. Whatever it is, though, it does push Full Sense all the way across the map back in towards A, and instantly Job plays safer backside, puts up the stars, and tries to stall or get the timing on some of the util against Full Sense. And that little grab wall does buy time for Crazy Guy to get into position around Heaven as well. Now anticipates a possible rope push again, but at the same time allowing for Full Sense to set up this semi-crossfire towards the back of CT.
Yeah, that's pretty big as well, right? If this Recon Dart or if Kimmy Kittens aren't ready for it, this is going to be huge. Hunter's Fury does not get caught, and okay, there's a lot of punishes all around the corner. Leviathan is just by himself. It's a 5-1 now, and yeah, this is going to be a full defuse. They don't even have to chase for this. He's already used his Hunter's Fury. Well, maybe chase a little bit, but now they won't chase anymore. Wait, okay, there you go. Just the one. They're fine.
Yeah, but it's that continuous push and pull from both sides, honestly, because, like, you kind of know, like, especially with that first pick off, Full Sense having to commit into the A site, they would probably set up that little, crossfire setup towards the back of site, and because of that now, Kimmy Kittens uses their ultimates to kind of really break apart that positioning that Full Sense was trying to go for. But off of that as well, its ultimate's burnt now. Of course, Kimmy Kittens has the advantage off of the round, so Full Sense looking for the opportunity to strike back in towards the B site they go.
Potter's getting closer. Here we go, Full Sense. They know that someone's at the back of the site. It's a game of peekaboo, but Potter just overcommits. he does drop down. Laz, though, gets the refrag quite quickly. Crazy Guy backing away as well. Has the regen shield just to top him off a little bit here. No more sight control for Full Sense, but same could be said for Kimmy Kittens. There is... Oh, timing is going to be so crucial, as well as that peek from Vera, but undeniably just whiffed. And there's the punish. Here comes the response from Full Sense. Also the use into the thrash, you know, just making sure they can clear all corners, all bounds here. Not able to connect on the retreating Styron, but here comes Jaw. His flank is going to be very pivotal on this one as he spots out one, but Lad's around the corner as well. Just ring around the rosy for the flanks. Here we go. And Styron has to just, yeah, pick up this, well, the operators back away, live the fight for another round.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. It's kind of walking around each other, but also for Styron to try to work some magic with this op, maybe find some alt points, maybe? Or, you know, just a pick or two, but nonetheless, not going to be able to find too much. His opponent's running away across from him. But at the same time, just a little bit unfortunate for how the round played out. You know, Full Sense, they're trying to go a little bit more aggressive, a little bit deeper into these sites, especially with the full hits. Wayne was able to sidestep that initial, you know, hit coming out from, I think, Potter. But off of that, then, you know, the trades started to come in because you have players who are just able to flood around the sites. Crazy Guy trying to play off of a little bit unfortunate Vera's death.
Enemy remaining.
So it definitely kind of hurts because there was a very good chance that, you know, Kimmy Kittens could have turned that round around.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, we'll keep on holding to this up and we'll see what Vera could do with it.
Well, he did get value 2 rounds ago, but you know, sometimes I think the overeagerness for Vera to get that quick pick with the operator is what Full Sense could be banking on as well. Still, though, here comes the setup. There it is. Straight little dash right in. And unfortunately, the Cloud Burst just really screwing the vision here of Full Sense. There we go. Vera with the revenge shot with the operator. No chance somebody's going to peek me through window now, from the looks of things. But Crazy Guy spots out the rotation, immediately calls for that quick little drone of his. He doesn't really use the full duration of it because of the goop being thrown in his direction. But look at the positioning. Vera holding the cross right here. Not spotted from 2F, I believe. So it's this fight against Killua that's going to be big. Spots out the shoulder, breaks it, and just has, well, one less to deal with on the middle. Still, even if there's this alert coming out from Laz, Spike has been dropped on middle, which means that they have to try to pick it up. 30 seconds on the clock, half a minute in, and it's just the delay game for Kimmy Kittens. Leviathan has to start something, has to move around, or else it might be just curtains for him. He tries to go around. Laz gets picked off by Vera and the Blades, and I think at this point, Leviathan might just have to play for that quote-unquote lurk and not really win the round based on where he's positioned at.
Not fully, but nonetheless, it still is going to be map point for Kimmy Kittens off of a round like this. Oh. Okay, Leviathan.
Face me. Okay, it's a fight. Gravity well.
He's getting
hit,
no,
it's a concuss. He's getting chased. Ah, no escape.
No, Jaw had his number. That's all the assistance that Crazy Guy needed. But yeah, map point right there. And it just comes down to, yep, that little bit of a cloud burst. You know, if it landed with the right trajectory right on top of the boxes, maybe it covers Potter just enough. But yeah, that's where your entry pathing kind of gets, you know, screwed with a little bit. It's just, it's unfortunate. Vera also now being able to fire off with that op, you know, taking a more advantageous duel because then he's kind of like anticipating where his opponents would show up from, and he's not really, you know, getting thrown off by movement and accuracy. So a really successful round for Kimmy Kittens, especially with how they're able to stall and delay that push coming up from Full Sense, especially with kills. You know, it's not just utility. So let's see how this plays out in the coming rounds now, especially with Kimmy Kittens now up to map point.
Well, I think the biggest thing about this as well is I feel like, at least, you know, looking at it from the perspective of Kimmy Kittens, because I'm trying to also see what the interactions are, and it's a little bit more I think complicated or intricate is Kimmy Kittens, I think they're just trying to get a lot more reactive, but at the same time reactive while Full Sense are pushing in before Full Sense gets the control of the site. And once they're able to do that, I think their percentage of just getting better site control or, you know, stopping the offense of Full Sense just immediately get a lot bigger. So if they can make that happen, oh, hang on. I think they're just putting, you know, the final nail in the coffin here on the map. Yeah, Paranoia into the Hunter's Fury. Alley-oops into a kill into Leviathan. Still, it's not really the be-all end-all answer, but it also removes the Sova from the attacking team.
It's already pretty huge. Now Cam deployed for information, but that's already quickly dealt with by KK. This might be it for Full Sense. They're trying to hang towards the back to see if anyone does push out and may be able to find numbers advantage that way, but currently not yet. Kimmy Kitten's playing very disciplined. A bit of a progression smoke to allow them to sneak across, but Vera lands the quick wallbang shot. And a bit of a dizzy as well to allow them to sneak through. Cloudburst, but Vera still has his crosshairs zeroed in. Siren with the salvos, and that burns Potter. 2 players remaining.
Yeah, I mean, they couldn't even plant the spike with that wingman. It's about to dissipate the smoke as well, and they just go through the gauntlet, and that's going to be the first map picked up by Kimmy Kittens. Pretty close, to say at the least, but still they're able to finish it off in the end. With Kimmy Kittens going to be starting on the offensive and only having that jet, how well are they going to be able to supplement the jet on the push? Because I think we've seen some teams struggle quite heavily when you only have that one duelist and not really having that good support. That being said, though, I think because of how strong the Taeho has been, I think for some teams, it has been a great alleviance of pressure for said duelists.
Yeah, it definitely could help out, but I think, you know, it's the lack of a flash that, you know, might be impacting KK a little bit, but at the same time, I don't think that that's what they're going for. Probably not the flash and dash. If anything, this jet just is a little bit versatile with, you know, with the way you might be able to work around the map with things like an op. But we are starting things out on the pistol with Kimmy Kittens on the attack, just watching down mid for now.
Quick use onto the stealth drone already, just to check the corners here, making sure.
Found the sheer wall.
Yeah, found the sheer wall as well.
Here.
No peekouts whatsoever just now. I think just a couple of eyes here. Maybe just trigger the sheer wall and then just start pushing in. There it is, the jump out. Activated already. Quick smoke as well from what you saw from Sephiroth. But that's only going to be lasting at least a quarter of the minute left that we have. That being said, altogether, this could just be a straight-up push from Kimmy Kittens, and they have to just be at least a little bit careful of the potential flank that could be coming behind it, which is already happening right now. And that's going to be Jaw to at least keep eyes on it. The timing is going to be very close. Can he pocket himself and start fighting against them because he jumps up into cover, or he jumps up into the ledge that actually blows up in his face. Wayne now has himself the molly and is getting help from Styron. This molly stops at least 3 of the players from Full Sense. The TP comes through. No, it was just a fake. It wasn't anything else. And this is just so much to deal with. Siren has to hold strong or else. But yeah, it's just going to be down to Crazy Guy. It's so difficult for him. He tries to take the proactive fight, which he does get with Laz, but will not with Sephiroth.
And that's just a calm and effective hit coming out from Full Sense. KK, you know, despite making the call to work off of the sheer wall being tripped, yes, you got the spike down and everything, but Full Sense were afforded that much space and afforded that much of an advantage, I think. It's just because you're able to set up that flank. You know, KK, you can tell with how Styron and Wayne were trying to hold off towards the back, their post-plant really relied on how much they were able to work around B-Long, around that pillar position, because that Incendiary can burn down the timer off the spike. But if your opponents just launch a flank, then you're not able to play that post-plant position any longer. So, something they need to keep an eye on for the upcoming rounds. But for now, slow and steady. Vera in with the... well, a full outlaw. Armor being bought up as well. So this was bought for him by Crazy Guy, I believe.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense, right? you know your opponent's not going to have... Not all of them are going to have full shields. So your
Risky,
one shot,
though.
one kill to the body is going to be a sure shot. Yeah.
A
But
little bit of a gamble.
Blind is dead.
yeah, the problem is, like, can they actually spot something for Vera to actually shoot down with the outlet, especially if how slow this round has been progressing.
Yeah, it comes down to the information that Full Sense are retrieving as well, and I think the biggest part of that would be Potter inside of A main right now. Does Vera expect it? He has to anticipate it and check carefully. Finds him with a little bit of a crouch. Potter unscoped at just the wrong time. Trip at hand though, and that allows for Leviathan to try to swing out. Wait, hold up a second. Crazy guy crouches underneath, lands the right click. Another trip away for Laz, but no shots found. Tries to run and hide around the sky smokes, and the spike gets planted.
Wow, how does this actually happen? Through the smoke and everything, and here we go. The double outlaw just so strong from downtown. The flank around, and Kimmy Kittens, they compress the fight. Through library they go, and then they just get the site, and it just works. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's just
That's
pistols,
crazy.
man.
A flawless Thrifty. Starting with just 4 pistols and 1 outlaw.
That's insane.
And somehow they were able to break all of it apart.
Yeah.
I really, especially up around, I think back sight and the connector link towards stairs out from Art. That's where there was a slight opportunity. I think Leviathan wanted to go for it, but he knew there were too many players on the other side. So Crazy Guy just seized the opportunity, and now we have it. 2 outlaws, 1 on Crazy Guy, 1 on Jaw. Vera in with a Guardian. Meanwhile, a bit of a scouting mission for either side. The drone not really spotting too much, and then just to regroup back in towards A main, huh?
Okay. Sephiroth
Here.
is holding the close. He does have, some type of crossfire with Killua here, but this is the brunt of the offense. They spot him already around the corner, trying to back away. And again, the assistance from Killua is just not going to be, well, anything but. There you go. Leviathan's also gets spotted as well. Laz tucked himself to the back of the site, trying to get spotted already. And I think he just did, yeah. Coming around the corner, the plant, well, will get delayed, but at the end of the day, still should be a plant for Full Sense here, leaving only Potter. Pistol in hand. Jaw's about to get that clear against him. Ooh, great shots. 2 tap. No chance, I think, to pick up that weapon, though. Tries to go for the wraparound, but Wayne's already ahead of him, and that's going to be the 4K for Wayne.
With a 4K as well, now he's just 3 points away from his orbital strike, which is, lovely for sure. But at the same time, I mean, really not much that Full Sense could do. They tried to make it a bit of a hold, especially towards that A main position once again, but easily sussed out by Kimmy Kitten. So, could also be like a little bit conditioning as to how Kimmy Kittens has to then respect A main repeatedly now for the future rounds. But at the very least, like, this is tremendous value, especially with the outlaws, weapons being converted into even more. Vera sitting on top of a mountain of credits, 7K right now. But once again, we start off the initial phase of the round a little bit slow and steady coming out from Kimmy Kittens. All right, the fake out, the clone being spotted by Ja. So he knows that possibly Potter nearby. Okay. Okay. That's just going to be a bit of utility, especially around Art. So more presence out from Kimmy Kittens, baits out more utility from Full Sense.
30 seconds left.
But then slowly backing in towards the B site, trying to keep some rotations, keep Full Sense interested in covering the other portions of the map. And that's why you really see Leviathan, you're trying to play around that pivot spot towards Sewer, but that kind of biting full sense in the back of their necks right now. It comes down to how Sephiroth and Laz are able to hold the trips, though, doing so much, even with the Hunter Sphere deployed by Crazy Guy. Kimmy Kittens can't quite firmly plant their boots into the ground on this B site. They try to go in for the spike stick. It's going to be Crazy Guy to shoot right back, but unfortunately, Spike Planter killed at the last second. Laz does all the work. Ja being able to survive the fight to live for another day.
That was brutal. Full sense. Great defensive posture altogether there. And let's just check that replay real quick. Good positioning from Sephiroth. Good timing as well. You saw Styron was looking somewhere above him, maybe to break a recon dart or something. But that only opened up an opportunity to get a shot off. Sorry, not a recon dart, but rather I think a camera from Laz. But yeah, same thing still was the outcome. So now Kimmy Kittens, I think they're on their last legs here in terms of economy. Potter's going to be pushing right in. They already know that's a fake out. So they just keep pushing through. And they're so close to the entryway already. There's no fear whatsoever. I think Kilo was just maybe able to spot out the back of the site. Has to back away first. Here comes the dash in from Vera as he wants to go for the challenge. The shots from Potter not connecting. And he's only able to get the one kill. But the fade. Oh, that haunt was huge as Kilo just gets a shot through the smoke. Pretty pivotal here for Full Sense. And now, Kimmy Kittens, no control on the site just yet. They have to push out. Great stun at the back of the site. It slows down a little bit, and here comes the charge out from Crazy Guy. Unfortunately, could not spot out Sephiroth. Able to just get a couple of taps with the Guardian, and he's done.
And that just comes down to the defensive setups from Full Sense. You know, the trades almost favoring out Kimmy Kittens, but that haunt, like you mentioned, right, especially from Leviathan, just provided Killua that much more vision, and that comes down to how, you know, Full Sense had their setups. You know, because of that sheer wall, it does kind of cut off the remainder of the Kimmy Kitten squad, and then at the same time, that little gap in timing allows for players like Leviathan to get into position around stairs, throw out that haunt, provide Killua with assistance, and so on and so forth. So that will be Full Sense now picking up the lead.
All right. See how this unravels. What a shot from Sephiroth. The push out, and Crazy Guy just cannot get the squeeze in. Great use on a gravity well to delay things. All things considered. Back to the drawing board they go. Vera now slowly creeping up with the operator here, but the smoke makes it a very difficult charge up into the B site. There's so many eyes covering this position, this angle. Sephiroth, if he's just patient enough, should be able to get a nice, easy kill here onto Vera. So it's going to be all up to Ja to really open up the site. Spots out one at the back of the site. Do they know that Sephiroth is hiding here into the corner? They've seen so much already. And look at the shots. Oh boy, that's going to be a bit of a doozy. And an upgrade as well. And Kimmy Kittens just slap back to the ground as Full Sense answer back.
Yeah, clean and crisp. You know, just being able to read the map that way. Kimmy Kittens needing to work around the map a little bit more, but this time they got quickly shot down as they tried to set up a bit of that B split, right? Trying to peek through the door, but players from Full Sense on the other side. It's something that they haven't really met or experienced so far on this map. So needing to kind of learn from their past experience off of this. But like you mentioned, you know, that economy is starting to get broken now. So some of them just being able to afford these half buys, KK back in towards how they want to, you know, figure out what's on the map. So a bit of a wide swing, not too wide, but a bit of a peek out from Vera takes down Leviathan, and that's already a good pickup.
That was very different from last round at least, right? Where it seems like there was just no chance for Kimmy Kittens right now to open up any part of the site. But look at how far Sephiroth's flank is already coming and no eyes right behind him. If they're not prepared for this, they might just get picked off. And there it is, the first one into Styron. He's not done. Vera's just rocking the hard place, has to pick up the spike here. They have the Dimensional Drift already used to start charging into the site. They're not going to be able to stop the plant on the spike, but it's just an awkward transition into the post plant for Kimmy Kittens. They will be using at least that Steel Garden to delay the defense for the moment. Vera playing the closer angle here. He's 4 to 5 HP. He has to get a very big conversion right now. He knows that they're coming in from the alleyway. It's a good one. Good first shot. Still, look at this. Full sense at the back of the site. Able to transition because of the smoke. Quick little peek out from Kilowa is not going to work out as Vera picks up the 4K with the blades as he's the hero for Kimmy Kittens.
Yeah, just one of these rounds where Vera gets fully activated. Just goes beast mode and finds so many of these shots with the blades. I mean, you see how he kind of goes in for that tiny little micro adjustment and instantly continues to anticipate where his opponents would show up from. And that's how he has the perfect crosshair placement. And all in all, like, that's how they pick up the round. I mean, Vera was also the one with the Bulldog to open things up towards B-Link doors. So breaking out so much from Full Sense, but still continuing forward. Full Sense has a couple of ultimates as well. Double peek out. In from mid this time. They've anticipated the push coming out from KK, and that's Potter finding a 2K.
Gotta love how just willing Full Sense is willing to go in for this fight. Vera's so close for a peek right now. Wonder if he's really aware of this. Kilo has been dealt with. Sephiroth inside A main. Ooh, that was close. Able to escape. Still, problem here is they can't really lug the spike at least to the site just yet. Look at how well dissected, separated Vera and Crazy Guy are. Crazy Guy is doing his best to just sync up with his teammate, but Full Sense, they're on a full searching party here, and it's so awkward. Where are you going to have to squeeze your way in? It's a game of cat and mouse when there's so many cats just kind of, sprinkle around the board. You know, the teeny tiny Jerry and the gray little one, forgot his name. And here comes the triple peek, spots out another, but has to go for the reload. Unfortunately for Vera, Potter's right there for the refrag so quickly, and now it's just Crazy Guy by himself, 3 versus 1.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. If he does find a pick though, or even if he dies, then you lose the rifle, which is gonna be tough. But if he does find a pick, that's gonna be Hunter's Fury, so that would be nice. Of course, 10 seconds remaining. He's just
10 seconds left.
looking for a safe spot. Oh, actually going for the spike plant. Spots out last, though. Gets off at the right second. That's Hunter's Fury, but yes, out of time. That's the round. And I got your ass right. The little gray mouse is called Nibbles. That's your Tom and Jerry lore. Nibbles, he's like originated from Tom and Jerry issue number 67.
It's a comic book?
No, I'm joking. I'm messing around.
Okay. I'm pretty sure it was a show rather than a comic.
I should have said episode. I don't know why I said issue.
Yeah, that's my issue with that issue. Okay.
All right. All right, we got it. So
we got
3 to 5, Full Sense, still in the lead, and they're just able to read Kimmy Kittens with how they're trying to push out across the map currently. And that's like Leviathan as the IGL making these calls too.
Now, it has been quite difficult, I think, for Kimmy Kittens to find any meaningful opening against Full Sense. It feels like it always has to be a set play more than anything else, because I think their peaks have just been caught and absorbed really well by Full Sense. Having said, though, still okay, set play. Gonna be using that flash, I think, to just supplement the push right now. Vera still has a dash here, but he might get caught if he's not careful. Nightfall has been activated already, but I think they're stopping the push out from everyone else because of how many tripwires there are. It's leaving just Vera at the front of the site, and unfortunately he really can't react to this. Pistol out as the Steel Garden's been activated here from Killua, and there really isn't any answer at the moment. Crazy Guy's just able to get the one pick, but again, that spike stranded out in the open. Ja is going to have to look for a starting pick here. Potter's retreated into A main. He's gotten at least a pick onto Potter because of Crazy Guy, but again, no rifles, no more time, and Crazy Guy has to get deleted here, or else money is not going to be in his favor. It's just Full Sense hiding, making sure that they can maybe just burn a little bit more time, or Killua just charging up his Steel Garden once again.
Yeah, but it also hurts because it's like diminishing returns. So It's gonna be another round where Kimi Kittens doesn't quite have, you know, full oh, no, actually they do. I was waiting for the UI to update. So, I'm kind of wondering about a potential timeout coming soon for Kimi Kittens, but at the same time, it's just a diminishing returns because it's full sense working off of these ultimates that they are slowly starting to build up again. That round was won because Leviathan had the Nightfall, and then, of course, the Steel Garden coming up from Killua's Vise as well, and that just engulfs the entire A site. So even though Kimi Kittens were able to sneak into a site, they just kind of get broken apart. But now, all right, spotting out that gate crash, coming back into check just to be sure. Maybe creating a bit more presence in towards B. If they find something, they can then commit. If not, you might be able to work around.
Oh, there's a great crash at the back of this site. Styron just backs away, could not break the haunt, just the opportune time in full sense. What an answer! Look at that. Just you could already see Kimi Kittens was just so confused. If not confused, just full sense, just timing the push out so well that it seems like Kimi Kittens just had no reaction to their retake of the site whatsoever.
Blind is dead.
That's what it comes down to, right? I mean, Potter didn't even have to use his dimensional drift yet. He's just playing around the positions. Because he's a Yoru, plays close to pillar, gets info, gate crashes towards the back. Second gate crash towards back site.
30 seconds left.
And that flash really throws off of Kimi Kittens so much. And right now, Jaws, sheer wall being tripped. He knows there's one towards the back, but the star is being thrown down as well. He's getting wall banged up. Ooh! Through the little screen. Unfortunately not able to survive, and that's an alt point again for some of the full sense players as well.
This is just looking dire for Kimi Kittens. Look at this peek out.
One enemy remaining.
So well timed.
One enemy
Like, sure, they had smokes and everything, but no flashes, no dashes, no nothing. It's just complete slow contact from Kimi Kittens, and it is catching them unawares. And still, man, even though there has been, what, 3-round advantage already for full sense, Kimi Kittens have not called a timeout. Not sure if this is something that isn't going to help them if they call this timeout or they're trying to figure it out. But so far, it hasn't been really good for the Kittens here. And full sense, again, in complete control of defense Pearl.
Could be saving it for the defensive side, possibly. I don't know. Who truly knows, apart from the players and the coach themselves. But right now, once again, it is full sense putting up roadblocks every step of the way. You know, it's connector, it's A main, even B main as well. Crazy Guy, once again, trying to suss out as much as possible, you know, holding on to his drone. But Sephiroth is creeping forward on a bit of a timing right now. Drone, and he's able to swing wide off of it. Weapon draw animation just not in time. It was a stinger nonetheless. So straight in through B Link, but Killua is around the corner. Spots him out from the top. That's gonna be the first kill. Last towards the back. And you still have Sephiroth out around the pillars as well. I mean, if you're Jaw, maybe you're able to go in for a bit of a duel. But if you're Styron, you're just feeling so much pressure all around you. Jaw walks into the crosshairs, unfortunately, and now Styron pinned down. Maybe position undetected for now, but he's just biding his time. Got 15 seconds, and full sense might fall onto you at some point. Slight peek, and his shoulder was already spotted. Killua in with a final kill.
Yeah, one more round. But this is so different from what we saw from full sense. They have every single answer to all of the, you know, these pushes that we've seen from Kimi Kittens. And I think this is just akin to, again, Kimi Kittens not really playing for picks anymore, rather just playing for those set, set executes. But the big problem to that is full sense, at least for the meantime, just has the better map control, if that makes sense, right? You're trying to make these plays, but then it just, oh, no. He saw the barrel. Vera peeks this. I think he's just done. So close. Oh, he gets it! The whiff on the shot. That's an opening for Kimi Kittens that don't really come too often, at least here in Pearl.
And off of that now, maybe a bit of a slight reprieve. still continuing to hit forward. Crosshair placement thrown off by Leviathan, and now that's going to be Vera activating the Blade Storm, trying to barrel through, looking for a potential right click. Oh, right at the feet, nips him away, just a bit, but Wayne will be able to collect in on that kill at the very end. So 4-on-2 against Killua and Laz. Spike down in a couple of seconds, but Laz trying to spot them out by their feetsies. Not really seeing too much. Kimmy Kittens are good for now.
Yeah. If he can get a pick first, potentially a neural theft to come out as well, right? But Kimmy Kittens just holding the crossfire for the moment. There it is. Activating it already. It's interesting that they're kind of just separating too much from the group. Still, Styron able to win that against Laz is going to be huge. They've used the molly already. Stops Killua from getting close into the site. Now they know Killua's out in the open. It's a bit of a fight, but that flash just catches him unawares. And that's going to be, well, Kittens with an answer back against Full Sense here.
And we are back into the second half between Kimmy Kittens and Full Sense. This time, it's Full Sense leading the pack 8-4 against Kimmy Kittens.
True. It is quite a bit of a difficult endeavor here for Kimmy Kittens just to eke out these rounds. Oh, Vera will get spotted by the entire battalion. And Crazy Guy also takes a beat down here. Now, here comes the push from Full Sense. And that was just a big mistake. That was the call for Full Sense to just go in, just completely charge right through. Seems like I'm having a bit of an issue here. Not seeing the transition and everything, but seems like it's going okay now. Smoke at the back of the site. Gets the conversion. Goes right through. It's a trade for trade. Crazy Guy was able to get a pick a couple of minutes ago, or a couple of seconds ago. And the spike is getting called around to go straight into the A side, but is that the good call? Because you can see here and now, Full Sense is in a 2 versus 3, but Sephiroth pocketing himself here on the spawn is pretty big. Do they know this is this flank's about to happen?
Last player standing.
Checked in the last second, Asterai. So that's going to be a little pickup for Kimmy Kittens now. 3-on-1. Low HP, though, for two of the players. Still an opportunity for Killua if he is able to take them down. But look at how Ja plays alongside his teammates. Crouched down, then swinging off of a contact. Killua! Headshots back-to-back. Crazy Guy for the swing and able to carry it across the finishing line. It almost got dicey, but Crazy Guy is here to bring some stability, peace, and freedom to this empire. So Kimmy Kittens picking up the pistol on the second half.
True. Your new empire, as you know, Full Sense tries to respond in kind. That was close though too. So this defensive posture from Kimmy Kittens was pretty good, but this was awkward as well. Ja just charging right out for that fight and not syncing up with Crazy Guy here, I think might have almost costed him that round. Thankfully enough for Crazy Guy, he's always good to just not get shot to death, and he gets the shot himself. That makes sense. Pretty good at those kind of duels.
Still though, back in with Full Sense with a creep up from Art. Might just be pistols, but with the sheriffs looking for any potential pick. Kimmy Kittens keeping themselves rather safe, though. Back in towards dugout. You got the Thorns already activated. The Razor Vines, but also... Okay, as that ticks away, Full Sense are just happy to hang back and then work off with the smoke dissipating. Wayne, though, holds the angle and already gets a bit of a pickup.
Yeah, big problem here for Full Sense is there's just so much reactionary util from Kimmy Kittens. Smoke for smoke here, though. There's the recon dart already being used, and there's just no way for Full Sense at least to plant for now. They have to just play the delay game for as much as possible. Great shot from Killua. He does find Styron, and Wayne might not want to overcommit that fight. So look at these shots, man. Ja is in trouble as he is just getting shot through the wall. Somehow, though, his crouch gives him a bit of space, a bit of leeway. Crazy Guy, if he pushes through this, he might get caught by Sephiroth, which he does. And it's now just being a 1 versus 1 with Ja winning with 5 HP remaining to his name.
He's able to win that out. Still 5 HP remaining, Asteroid. I got you, but yeah, it definitely still comes pretty dicey, but being able to read the map and trying to set up for those positions where then Kimi Kittens are able to penetrate themselves out equally really gives them the advantage. But once again, like, you can see how much damage these sheriffs can do, so I would still count this as a pretty, I don't know, successful eco round coming out from Full Sense, because they've robbed 4 of these guns away, which means there's a very slim chance of Kimi Kittens winning out this round 15 play. Do we have Asteroid back?
Yes, I am here.
Okay.
Yes.
A little bit cut out.
Okay. Apologize for that. Not sure what's been happening in the connectivity side of things, but yes, as you mentioned,
We good.
yeah, we good with it. That that particular round did not allow Kimi Kittens to transition any weapons whatsoever, except for just the Guardian in Ja's hands. And well, I mean, at least the only real rifle that Kimi Kittens have is here on the A site, where Ja is holding with the whole kit and caboodle of the Vice util. Sephiroth, Styron is just spotted at the corner here. One
Right there.
wrong peek and he's just done for. But it's a triple stack, quadra stack for Kimi Kittens right now. Crazy Guy's been spotted. Sephiroth is on the hella slow approach. The question now is just how close this approach truly is. No one else is going to be on B main, but it's the push here into alleyway. But look at that. Great timing with the guided salvo. Stops the offense of Full Sense. It's been a quiet couple of, well, half a minute, but now they got us explode. Try to open things up. It's going to be a battle, a crossfire, and they're just getting stopped. They know exactly where the play is, and what a great stun to come through. Sure, it does at least ruin some of the lives of Kimi Kittens here, but ultimately, the round is theirs.
And you can definitely see how Styron saved it for Kimi Kittens, thanks to these salvos, like you mentioned, Asteroid. Just being able to send that down at the best possible timing really throws in Full Sense for a bit of a loop. And even though they do try to reaggress, especially off of the arc rows, it's a really good plan, but
yes,
Vera gets ahead of it. Like, he just
arc
gets in the
rows,
right spot,
as you were
sprays
mentioning,
into the choke point, and that really breaks all of it
was
apart.
great. I think we have lost Quack.
Yeah.
It is okay.
Did we?
While
Oh, no.
we're trying to reconnect with Quack, it seems like Full Sense are reconnecting with each other as well. The thing about that is they have been at least answered back by Kimi Kittens here on the other side, where I think, again, it's just the same issue where they really can't figure out, or they haven't figured out how to manage that mid control while also just getting that good information to create possible openings into the site, right? It's the same issue that Kimi Kittens were facing. Now they're trying to figure out how to get out of that that conundrum. And Quack, are you with us?
I certainly hope so.
Yeah, you're back. You're back. Can you give us a sign?
Thankfully. What's a sign? How do a verbal sign?
Oh, okay.
That's all I've
Okay.
got.
Someone hasn't tried
We're here.
playing Phasmophobia yet. Okay, we're fine.
So yeah, I've never touched that game before. But, well, we are starting things off with a bit of Sky Smoke out from Kimi Kittens in towards A main. Already baiting out quite a bit of utility out from Full Sense, but also nonetheless, it's going to be that read in towards the A site thanks to this information being retrieved by Wayne and his smokes. Now, sending out another smoke. Just kind of leaving Vera to his own devices around B link if anyone does rotate into him.
He's just hidden inside the smoke for the meantime. No one wants to trigger the shear for now. There it is. Yeah, a bit of use there, though. Recon Dart, I think I heard, was thrown out, but immediately broken right now. Full Sense. Well, Crazy Guy has the correct idea to bring in that drone of his. Steel Guardian's been used already. Mollies and everything just to delay the push right now from Full Sense. Ja has to force
30
himself
seconds
back
left.
as, well, that seize is going to be placed just to get the catch on him. Leviathan now tries to plant. Not going to work out in his favor, though. He does get blasted. Wayne already willing to commit the orbital strike. Once he hears that, the pushes come, and there it is. Use on the ultimate. Follow up as well with the concuss, just making sure. Around the corners, a little bit too much, but hang on. Full Sense, they're fighting back. The timing, though, is still pretty good. Ja inside the smoke, alongside the rest of Kimmy Kittens, able to deny the push from Full Sense. It looked a little bit too hot and heavy, but they were able to handle it just fine.
Just all, every stack of utility being sent into this round. I mean, initially drawing out some of the flashes up from Full Sense, but because of that information and down to it all, even if Wayne was hit by the Steel Garden from Killua, he's able to work with his utility, and that's ultimately what his job was on the A site, just to stall and delay as much as possible. It's the mollies, the orbital strike then coming through. Vera on a bit of a flank journey as well, but Ja being able to get that shot in towards the spike planter really made all the difference towards the very end as well. So once again, this Sky Smoke play from Wayne has been working out, so why not do it a second time? It does condition Full Sense into having to spend utility to check and clear it. This time, though, Kimmy Kittens tries to anticipate a bit of a B hit, but not seeing anything. They are going to have to double back, and this takes a bit of time.
Oh, I thought that was a clean shot into Potter there. Anyways, Leviathan will have his Nightfall here, as he does pick up the orb, I believe. Crazy guy. All he needs is one more kill, and he will have his Hunter's Fury available for him. Other players right now, Full Sense, is trying to go for the same approach into the A site. And I'm not sure if this is going to be
Nightfall hit?
as good. Yeah. But the thing is, there's a Steel Guardian waiting for them from Ja. So I don't know if this is the right approach for them or whatnot, but they are at least burning some of the util here from the defenders. Now Ja around the corner, there it is, uses the Arsenal, or rather the Steel Guardian, that will delay at least Full Sense for a couple more seconds, which also mitigates the effect potentially of this Nightfall. Now, both players just trying to get as much contact as possible. Crazy Guy's gotten the kill already. Just has to back away, maybe use his ultimate. No, not going to happen. Trade for trade, though, at the moment. And he got its salvos to stop the plant. Looks like that's going to be a no. And it's going to be a retake between the two teams. Great push out from Potter. Gets a catch onto Styron. Repositions to the back of the site. And now they have themselves a big fight. Dimensional Drift has been used. Spots out Sephiroth with the Dimensional Drift. That means that this is going to be a 2 versus 1 for the meantime. Has to escape now because the defuse is coming in. The push out, the challenge as well. And that's going to be Sephiroth for the W, using his teammate as distraction.
Perfect round coming through, and that's really going to be that distraction, because you have the Yoru. You can tell that, first of all, Kimmy Kittens weren't really, thrown away by things like the fake gate crash and stuff, but it's the fact that Potter gets into towards back of sight, holds an advantageous angle against his opponents, that gives him these moments where he's then able to turn a slight numbers disadvantage into a more even playing ground, especially with his positioning. The angle is just not quite favoring Kimmy Kittens in the final few moments of the round, so you're definitely providing a lot of value now. But Kimmy Kittens once again trying to tie up the score. It's Vera in with the Outlaw, this time watching towards B. He does spot them out, but gets tagged. Leviathan and Killua for a couple of kills.
And that's what Full Sense were looking for. That swift, quick contact into a site transition. Gonna be using that Neural Theft as well, just to sweeten the pot. Leviathan already repositions into Ali. I like the plan here. He has a better angle just in case Kimmy Kittens actually commit to go for the retake. But no, Kittens will just yield for the meantime.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give it to him. Conserve their weaponry. Sephiroth, though, on for a bit of a hunt. And he does spot out the first. Off for the wide swing, and Siren makes it a trade, so not entirely sure, but he's going to be able to buy up, especially if his teammates can afford him a weapon, but nonetheless, just one ult point, so nothing too much for either side. Just the fact that Star now has the Armageddon as well.
Still, though, I think Kimmy Kittens is willing to challenge. It isn't bad, but their ability to escape is what is really or not escape, but at least to fight back, or maybe, yeah, maybe even fall back after initial contact is not so good. Full Sense, they just play so compressed with each other that these refrags are just so swift, man. It's just so difficult to be in the position of Kimmy Kittens when Full Sense are just this honed in.
Yeah, it's really starting to mount that full comeback. Salvos and then Hunter's Fury, though, so it's a bit of a check from Crazy Guy. A bit of intel, if anything, or just trying to anticipate some kind of a read as well, but... Alright, it does give him information that more of a hit is coming towards the B site, so Vera alongside Ja, trying to reposition to more favorable angles. It's just the clone, though, initially. Now a bit of a flash out from Ja to aid Vera on his peaks. No one's really found. And then that, you know, full rotation out from Full Sense. Leviathan making the call for a rotate into the A site.
Oh! That was interesting. Armageddon used into a pick into Potter. They've committed so much this round. I don't know if, like, even when they have the numbers advantage, if it's going to be something. Crazy Guy, he's about to just open up a can of worms as he gets pushed by Leviathan. In Full Sense, just full confidence on this team. And, oh, it's unfortunate from Styron. He gets stunned, but he shows his barrel at the end of the day. Leviathan's still holding the back of the site. Sure, he gets at least dealt with right now, but there's still the post plant that they have to try to deal with. Wayne gets caught. Kilo is just there for the punish, and now Vera, rocking a hard plays, has to play clutch. But the problem is, he has no information. And look at this. Killua has gone in and pushed up, and he spotted Vera already. Gives away his position, but shouldn't matter anymore as, again, I think Vera just has to give up and save this weapon for the next round.
Yeah, ultimately has to be, but he's also he's got quite a few contacts heading towards him. Laz, namely, will hold the angle, though, just in case. Full Sense looking to play the long game because they are now 11-8. One more for that crucial map point. But for Kimmy Kittens, a round which unfortunately got played like a book. You know, the initial utility into the B site and then the rotation being called by Leviathan. Crazy Guy, you know, kind of sensed it towards the end, but playing that close towards back site, I think he just didn't anticipate that his opponents would be that close. Especially with the smokes around the corner as well, so a little bit unfortunate, but it is going to be a pretty darn good round for Full Sense now to possibly get towards closing out the map.
Oh, wow. Crazy Guy just really, tempting fate there as he tries to get some quick contact for his team. Only really has a Bulldog in hand, so the long-range fights not going to be as good for him. Gets tagged down, but now he knows the brunt of them are about to go for this aggressive push. Just gets the Razor Vine and everything. A reaction on the smoke, but no one's at home, or no one's pushing home. And they're just backing away, or maybe just a bit of a cut of noise here for Full Sense. They're just waiting again for potentially Kimmy Kittens to go the other direction. And I like the idea of this, but Kimmy Kittens aren't biting that bait. They're still holding here. It's 4 players on the B site.
And this could work out for them.
Time to jump.
Full Sense back on the approach.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, they've gone for the push already. Here's the commit. Gonna be using everything from that fade, and it's actually working, but hold on. Styron picks up the 4. It's just down to the 1, and that's going to be Sephiroth. 15 seconds, he's going to have to start marching in, but don't forget about this. Styron's gotten the 4K already nearing the ace. Alongside Crazy Guy, has to go for the plant. Just needs to delay. Here comes the check. There's the challenge, and there is an answer from Kimmy Kittens. What a hole at the back of the site, courtesy of Styron.
Yeah, the guy's such a selfless bro as well. He could have greeted for an ace, but decides to play it safe. And that just shows, maturity in how he is as a player as well. Stealth drone to allow for Crazy Guy to swing in for that final kill, where then Crazy Guy gets to kind of maybe build up towards the next Harness Fury. Styron is really close to his Armageddon as well, so that's going to be even more value as Kibikin looks to try and tie up the score. Prevent that possible overtime or prevent Full Sense from reaching that map point. So this time, it's a bit of a read from Crazy Guy. You're playing like rock, paper, scissors, where your opponents are trying to throw that rock again, right? Back into B side, we dump a whole lot of utility, but oh, hold up, we're gonna actually cut noise and go back into B. But Crazy Guy reads it, and that is just so much value for the whole team.
Absolutely. And because of that, right, it is giving a bit of bite to Kimmy Kittens. That being said, though, that was a good round, but it was a singular round here where Full Sense has a lot of trick up their sleeves, and those fights that Kimmy Kitten have, it always feels like they don't really have an advantage over it, if that made sense, right? They always have to fight tooth and nail for these rounds, and sure, again, that's just the nature of the game.
Try not to.
But when you consider that, it's still Full Sense in the driver's seat, and it feels like Kimmy Kittens, with that timeout, they're trying to take away the the wheel. Not from Papa J, not from anyone else, but just Full Sense.
Yeah, definitely trying to get a good command over how these rounds play out, especially given the nature of how close it has been, like you were saying, Asteroid. But currently, trying to get some information around the A side, especially the salvos, but Full Sense just kind of avoid it, still masking a lot of noise. Now forcing out a bit of a drone because Crazy Guy feels the need for more information, but not reading enough. Stealth drone doesn't really spot anyone out either, and Full Sense continues on their stealthy approach into the A site. It just comes down to the Razor Vines and Jaw.
You're absolutely right, and this is the problem again for Kimmy Kittens, right? Once they give up that site, it just feels like it's so difficult for them to really get any value. Jaw's hidden underneath on flowers. What a flash! He's just very much trapped. There's a bit of information gathered, and Jaw's just trying to shoot through the wall here to at least get a bit more value here and there. Still, though, I don't think it's enough for Kimmy Kittens. There's so much post-plant utility right now, and this A side is just completely Full Senses. There it is. We're just down to Jaw already. Potter's just gone for the gate crash, and he's out. What a good position from him. He's pocketed his position, and it's so difficult. Laz, now, big wraparound. Goes, spots out Jaw, and Full Sense, they've got themselves map point.
And that's just so close.
Match point.
And once again, this was off of a bit of a timeout, but unfortunately for Kimmy Kittens, it really favors out for Full Sense. It's one of these rounds where it just feels like Kimmy Kittens were trying to stay ahead of the game, trying to change up their positions, their setups, especially with Crazy Guy towards the B site to retrieve more information. However, Full Sense just takes the slow and steady approach, and once they see, these little utilities coming out, it's like, okay, we know how to react. You're telegraphing your plays.
Oh, sorry, I think it cut out for a second there, and wasn't here to, wasn't able to hear your beautiful thoughts, your beautiful mind. We're all right.
Blinding prep. Not ready yet.
Now, Full Sense, the same thing, right? They're going to be going for this A site. It's a different approach, though. It's a different angle, but the same idea from what it looks like is going to be the play here. Smokes. This back of the site, really not home for Kimmy Kittens, so they might want to play somewhere else, but they can't really do that as well, just because they don't have any exit strats like what, again, Kimmy Kittens have, with the Yoru and whatnot. Or, excuse me, Full Sense have. But they're going the other way. They're checking to see if B is somewhat of a weaker weapon here. Steel Garden's been used, and it's a ruse. This is so smart from Full Sense.
Yeah, it really is throwing Kimmy Kittens off balance. It's all down to Vera, and he only has a Marshall off angle held as well, but he does land the first shot. Tries to repeat, gets away with the dash nonetheless. Orbital Strike invested to try to burn away. Vera in with a classic on a second kill. That's a rifle picked up.
They're trying to stop the plant on the spike. I think they just did. Yeah, there's the one last player, and that's Killua all the way from Alley downtown. He's not going to have enough time to walk up, clutch the round, plant the spike. And this round is Kimmy Kittens. What a shot from Vera. What a delay from Kimmy Kittens. He's also using the Orbital Strike to force out Full Sense into the open. And then the charge out from, I think that was Sephiroth or Leviathan, gets caught by Vera, so he upgrades the weapon into a Vandal as well in the process.
And that's just like cherry on top. If Vera hadn't landed those moments, that would have been a very different round. But because he did, just being able to turn all of this around, you know, truly kind of the savior for Kimmy Kittens right now. It's like these rounds where they're behind a few steps in terms of the macro plans, but Vera just turns it all around. So now, next round coming up, Kimmy Kittens once ahead. Once again, trying to get ahead. Outdoor being picked up by Stara and very close to Yamageddon, but Full Sense nearby as well. Thankfully blocked off by the Sky Smoke from Wayne. Vera is pushing up Belong.
He is getting a lot of information here, and this is, I think, what Kimmy Kittens need so that they can, you know, find or make good decisions on where to really put the defense of Kimmy Kittens here. And I still like it. I think they're a lot more willing to wait. Oh, spotted. Good tag though, but Pharaoh gets tagged himself. A couple of shots zooming over his head. But I was about to say, it does allow again Kimmy Kittens to make these decisions to just hold the B site, which they are a little bit better in retaking.
Oh, and now the dimensional drift as well. Like, if you were Kimmy Kittens, you're really confused as to what Full Sense are about to do. Might be a bit of a scouting mission, but out of the drift, and Vera backs away safely. Crazy guy to hold the angle. Point blank range though, does land the first shot. Oh, now afterwards the next. Oh, that's Crazy guy down, but Vera's still alive, still trying to do something. Jaw just in time for the next kill. Wayne off of the trade from the top of heaven. 2-on-1 for Laz.
Oh, the guided salvo. Delay, delay, delay. No time now for Laz. He's about to plant the spike underneath in front of them, and they know that he is around the pillar as he tries to back away. Again, though, the concuss forces him out, and Kimmy Kittens retake this. The answer is set in stone. It's just, again, hold A site and then retake B.
The hold. It's
Left.
so
Ready. No charge.
tight and close, Sasarai.
Yeah.
Because the hold kind of comes down to whether or not Vera can land these shots, whether or not Vera stays alive long enough for the rest of the team. But if you have that trust in him to make these plays happen, then hell yeah, it's going to happen. Final timeout now called by Full Sense.
And it's so close, right? You can't make a mistake as Kimmy Kittens because of just how close, or how, again, you're already at map point. One more round and they're gonna have to try to figure things out. And they burned a good amount of ultimates as well in that last round, including the dimensional drift. What is going to be, right, the proper answer here? Because it seems like mid has just been given by Kimmy Kittens. They will just allow mid to be taken and then fall back. The only thing that Kimmy Kittens is doing right now is making sure that A doesn't get overwhelmed, and then they can always just spot out somebody, rotating either to mid or B long, and that gives them a clear picture of what is happening. Now, that timeout might have a bit of a mix-up play here from Full Sense, but from the looks of things, where they kind of played around in, they're going to try to go again for a potential library play. But the problem here is at least Potter and Leviathan are on the weaker weapons. I don't know if that's the biggest problem. Same could be said, though, with Kimmy Kittens, with Crazy Guy just on a pistol? Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, it's the IGL, though, so just trying to retrieve more information for the team. Still, considering the fact that Kimmy Kittens are sitting on ultimates, they need to bait some of these out, so just sending in the 3 players really quickly, straight on through.
Oh, the spike!
Wow, and Wayne is able to receive them so quick, the spike instantly dropped. No ultimates needed to be used just yet, but Ja does pop the Vise ult for now. Sheer Wall being fired against. Armageddon deployed too, just to burn the timer down even further.
Yeah, I like the idea because it will at least supplement them to just use the smokes once again. Still, though, an overheat is possible here from Kimmy Kittens. They have the numbers advantage, but they don't really need to overcommit this fight. They can use that Arc Rose already. There it is. Wall used as well. Plays around the corner, and they are actually falling little by little, bit by bit. Kimmy Kittens, what is happening? They've overextended their welcome even on their own site, and now it's all left to Styron. He's been a good player. He's been a good clutch, but the problem is he has no idea where the rest of Full Sense will be positioning at. It's a 1 versus 2. Sure. The health, not looking too good for them. He has a stealth drone to give a little bit of that information. Checks every single corner, spots out one in A main, and now he has to play peekaboo against Laz here. Is time really on his side? Can he spot out something? He knows that there's tripwire right underneath him. And again, he has to get closer. He has to find one first, which he does. Tries to get around. Guided salvo. Forces back. And now he can at least defuse this spike to half before he really has to go for the fight, which he does against Laz. What a clutch! And he has just enough time to get us into overtime.
Oh my god, Asteroid. It's so incredibly close. That's a very slight opportunity where Kimmy Kittens might have just thrown away their advantage on the round, right? They had numbers, they threw all the utility a little bit too early on, but down to the very end of it all, Styron just a masterclass at how you want to isolate the duels, knew what was on the ground, and just avoided it completely. Full Sense, they must have been sweating a little bit, but they were just waiting for him to tap onto the spike. So maybe feeling a little bit too comfortable with the spike back there as well. Nonetheless, it is going to be OT1 right here. Starting things off with full rifles all across the board. Kimmy Kittens back on the attack.
Oh my goodness, my heart, man. I don't think I could have taken that round. It looks so unlosable, right, for Kimmy Kittens. And then they were just pushed into such a difficult position. You just can never really play that haphazardly, I feel like, against Full Sense. I have to call it haphazard because I really felt like Kimmy Kittens were just pushing the advantage that they have a little bit too much.
Without a doubt. Oh, but right now, at least, Kimmy Kittens back onto it. A bit of an approach back towards R. It does spot out a player. And then Ja watching for the flank as well. So I like this. Just trying to have a bit of that team play alongside Crazy Guy on a mission to scout if there are any push-outs. Meanwhile, the rest of the squad, the main trio, will work their way across the map. Bit of contact against Potter now, and they found it. So quick on the pace now, looking for that pinch against Leviathan. We'll find him as well. Minimal damage sustained, Asteroid.
Yeah. Very minimal. It's only just really a love tap onto Vera. Now, it's Vera's task here to start looking for the tripwires. They know that someone's probably hiding at the back of the site right now, but that plant is going to push through. Here comes the rest of Full Sense to go in for the fight here. The reposition right now from Laz. This Crazy Guy finds him with the backstab. The backstab on the backstabber. It's just down to Killua. Panda Spike should still push through. It's so close! And he's so close to where Styron also is. Armageddon used, but he's just trapped. If he backs away to Ali, he just gets taken by the ultimate. But Crazy Guy doesn't allow that, does he?
Switching sides.
No, not a chance. Just flush out position and setting up for Crazy Guy to get the burst through. So, starting to see how Kimmy Kittens are commanding these rounds now with the way they are finally able to work across the map, slow creeps across, Ja to watch the flank. And I do wonder if this was something that they, figured out as a team, or if it was one of the things that Alex R mentioned during the timeouts from before. Because if not, it's this amazing IGL coming out from Crazy Guy. Just the way that he's able to work around the map with his teammates this way. And the fact that they're able to crack a lot of these areas open. Now, second round in this first OT, and Coach Lee feels the need to intervene. They've been having, more successful rounds in some of these plays on the attack, but at the same time, it gets pretty dicey.
Yeah. It's so close because again we're back on the biggest problem here, I think, for both teams, where Kimmy Kittens doesn't really have a solid A defense. But that's right, they got that one round that really, that they really won before we got into overtime. But that's just the one round, right?
Yeah,
and it still was Styron that had to play the clutch. As either it's Kimmy Kittens that kind of go full YOLO, or it's them just not really able to hold it well enough. So if you look at where they're kind of placed around the map, it's somewhat similar. That they're still putting a lot of, you know, a lot of their defensive abilities on the A site, but now they're kind of just mixing it up because I think they also think that maybe Full Sense will mix it up, especially now it's, you know, in overtime.
Okay. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, it's down to a lot of these site holds where Kimmy Kittens does get a little bit shaky. Right now, you know, Full Sense are able to kind of trigger some of the incoming utilities, especially with the clone. So that it's already done a little bit, and it keeps 3 players from KK invested on towards the A site. Ja reinvestigates spots that no one's really here, but also hears some noise coming out from Art. So he's gonna stay hunkered down in this one spot. And then the hit back in towards B Link. Oh, this is dangerous for Crazy Guy.
He's alone. No one's at least pushing B main, so at least he has a fallback into the site itself now that he knows that he spotted a couple of players already, and there's Vera showing the operator in hand. This is problematic for Full Sense because now you can see they can't really push through on Ali because they also put their own Razor Vine there. They can't really aggressive their own utility, at least for a couple of seconds. Now they've been called to wrap around, 20 seconds left in the clock, but they have to still deal with the buys. Ja at the back of the site. All he has to do is Razor Vine it up. The delay, Killua's flank works out, and somehow Full Sense are fighting it back! Oh, they actually might have bought it back. Oh my goodness, they actually have the A side, and Vera and Crazy Guy, they don't know. I thought it was a play for well, Kimmy Kittens just to finish it off, but Full Sense persevere and push through. Now, one more. Great shot onto Crazy Guy. We're down to Vera. He's changed up the weapon into the Phantom, and he has no shield whatsoever. He gets close. Doesn't get spotted just yet, but he has to wait for the decay to dissipate first before anything else, and there's still the smoke right in front of him to stop him from entering the site. It's a 4 versus 1. No time really left to him. That arc goes right in front of his face. Well, it doesn't matter anymore as Potter just deals, and that's going to be us pushed up into another overtime.
Yeah, OT2. It comes so close again, Asterai. Kimmy Kittens once again, like, close to maybe ending it out. Finding some early picks, especially Vera with that op play. But down to the site, you know, a little bit too much faith in the utility, I guess. You know, they had the Razor Vines, they had smokes, but Wayne unfortunately got caught by, I think it was either Potter or Sephiroth coming up from sewer. So that's just that one tiny little sneaky beaky play coming up from Full Sense, and it also does quite a bit of damage. But here we go, back into it. A bit of a march in towards B site, and Potter is creeping up close with the op. Spots Vera out by the shoulder.
That's problematic, because now they don't have their dash player. It seems like Crazy Guy just had enough, and he's just pushing it in. Unfortunately here, there's still a couple more defenders on the B site that's not Potter. So he has to deal with that. Sephiroth is supplementing so many smokes into this one, and it's still so difficult for them. They spotted out one already. Ja sneaking at the back of the site, looking to clear it up, at least for the moment. Leviathan around the corner here gets spotted, and this is just going horribly wrong for Kimmy Kittens. And that was the second time, man. Again, that the peak by Potter. They're just punishing the drone and everything. Wayne pushes up.
Oh.
Unfortunately, can't really squeeze out another kill or so.
Switching sides.
No, sir. But that's exactly what Full Sense gets to do, and it's an incredible play coming up from players like Potter. For sure, if he gets to do it because he has the gate crash. So why not?
One enemy.
And thanks to that, then you get so much information around the site. You know, even with other Full Sense, other Kimmy Kittens players trying to play towards the back of site, they all get eliminated bit by bit. A bit of an attempt from John nonetheless, but still, this is now a chance for Full Sense to end out the map. Vera in with the op at an angle out from Pillar. Full Sense to work around mid.
Not ready yet.
Now,
Bring them down.
you can see that they aren't wasting any more time on B. They know that at least the setup of Kimmy Kittens, if they don't really change, which I feel like Kimmy Kittens can't really change at this point, is always going to have a little bit more of that op from Vera, at least on B long. And the Crazy Guy spot, that's the same setup, but Full Sense. Ooh, That Cypher cage, though, makes me think that they're going to be wrapping around. They're trying to use, well, this drone to spot out mid, and I think they just did. Ooh, they're backing away onto the A site. This is going to be very close. Both teams, I think, reading each other pretty well at this point.
At least trying to set up for it. But, you know, this is, again, where Kimmikins has kind of faltered several times before. It's the same positions once more. Styron in with the salvos. The Razor Vine's already tripped, but no one from Full Sense is getting tagged out by it. In fact, the spams go into Jaw once again. Styron trying to refill his position, but getting peppered down by the utility. Not able to withstand against Potter, but here comes Wayne. A bit of a double kill. Kill afterwards erases, but Crazy Guy with a shot down against him. And it's a 3-on-2. Vera on the off. Hunting down, getting onto site. Last tries to hold the angle, but overwhelmed by the double peek from Kimmikins, and then the swing from Wayne. Duel isolated. Sephiroth still trying to hold off, but Vera in with the up. A shot punctured through, and Kimmikins will push us into a third overtime.
I thought that was already over. I thought we were going to go into map 3 already with a 1-to-1, but Kimmikins somehow managing to hold on.
Overtime.
And again, here we are.
We know the drill.
Deja
Stick to
vu
your roles
over
and
and
we'll push
over and over again. As both teams, we've called our timeout right now. Out of regulation, Kimmikins feel the pressure, and they found that it's a little bit too much for them to handle. They gotta answer some stuff, man. You know, they gotta try to deal with, I think, the weakness of their B long. I think their B site's okay, but their B long needs a lot of work.
Yeah. So much of it, especially when it goes back and forth, it can start to feel a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Overwhelming?
Daunting?
Not quite.
Daunting,
Yeah,
I guess?
daunting. There we go.
Yeah. I feel you, though, right? Because it really feels that Potter has so much more freedom of movement around this than Vera has, you know, as per Duelist. I don't know if it's because Potter is on that Yoru, so he can always just rotate so quickly, or him just having just a better grasp of timing and just checking opponents. But so far, Kimmikins, this B-Long has just been so problematic for them. That being said, though, Potter's not even, like, top fragging as well, but his impact frags can definitely be felt throughout this entire second map.
Yeah, so much with the way that he's able to, you know, get a frag and then escape away. And now, right now, it's just so much information off towards mid. So instantly, Sephiroth kind of knows there might be an approach towards the B site. Hangs back towards the back of halls where he's able to safely jiggle or jump peek. Stealth drone in towards A main as well, though, and I do believe Killua can spot or hear a lot of these. Vera does have to watch out.
I think they also just realized they can't really peek that mid position anymore, no? Just, it's too dangerous. Too difficult.
No util to re-clear it either, right?
Yeah, exactly. Might as well just commit elsewhere on the map and see where it takes you. Seems like they are going to be doing that. Oh, Jad, though, is on the lurk here.
It takes you.
This is... Okay, so where... okay, Jad's just going to try to hear stuff on that one. There's a setup already. Vero's gone in for the push. Sephiroth's around the corner here, but he hasn't able to really get the one pick that he was kind of hoping for. Potter is on alley with the op, which he just pushed. Wayne, what is this? He actually pushes so aggressively. Gets caught by Potter. Potter gets away with bloody murder here. Spike has been planted. Numbers favoring the defense right now. He pushes up, and it's going to be done for him. And here comes the rest. Leviathan's got everything set up. Styron in a really off angle that actually works in his favor as he tries to back away. Right now, there's going to be Laz. Spots it one, and there's the flank coming right in. And Killua just answers back. Styron's done for, and Full Sense get round advantage once more.
Not ready yet.
Yeah, a bit of lack of utility on the flank again, and it comes down to these moments. And like you mentioned once more, Full Sense are able to break them apart. Whether it's the setup through the flanks or the impact frags from Potter. I mean, it was pretty successful with how Kimmikins were able to break into the site, right? Initially, Vera in with the dash through, spots out a player here and there, but, you know, no sheer wall towards the back of, like, library and also just how I think Wayne tried to play off like, you know, Molly at the ground so that maybe Potter won't think of him pushing through. But then
Yeah.
Potter just reacts. Like, that's how good he is. So 15 to 14 now. Once again, Full Sends have a chance at ending the map.
Bring them down.
Yeah, and it's such a
Vera,
yeah hot and heavy
Enemy
fight
down.
here. Wayne, oh my goodness, his senses tingling. He's not Spider-Man, but rather Batman, as he just is able to defend his city. No idea where I got that. No connection whatsoever. Just, you know, Wayne.
it just came out.
He just came out. Like that shot though.
Magmunition.
Just works. Yeah, pretty good. Operator does get value, and that's the first time I think we've seen Vera actually hold A main with an op by himself as well. Crazy guy. Ooh, glass is very close. Crazy guy is gonna get caught here. Say goodbye. Yeah, there it is. Another shot off, but Ja reacts in time. And he has been getting caught quite often as well. Spots out the one, goes in for the transition, but Leviathan is a menace. One more. Wayne's not able to really get the reaction, but he does have a molly to maybe stop the plant on that spike. It will get planted at least here underneath on pillar, so it's not going to get stopped, but that also means that it's not the best or optimal, well, post-plant position for them. The fight, Styron gets it. It's down to Laz, where Styron is king. And on he goes. And this series also go on and on. Goes on and on.
Yeah, and for yet another overtime, I've kind of lost track. Is this like the third or the fourth now?
So we're 12 to 12 at the start of
Switching
overtime.
sides.
And
Overtime.
now you
We're the fourth, right?
yeah. So you divide, you subtract it with 15, and you get 3. So that means with 3
my
rounds
God.
in, and then you add one more, and that's the round right now.
Enemy remaining.
Quick math aster, I thank you. But it really does come down so close. Like, it almost feels again like Kimkin's had the advantage, almost lost it, because you have these moments where players like Ja, like, they know they have the duel and they want to go in for it, but then they go and somehow they get punished because it's 2 players, things like that. But then again, you don't want to discourage them from continuing to peak, because there are these moments where if they do land the shot, that means so much for the team. So continuing to see some of these from Kimkin's players could provide tremendous value, but right now, bit of a recon mission out, and Potter's able to relay off of it, finds Vera.
That was huge. That again, aggression through double doors. So many things that you have to try to keep in mind, especially with Potter, because again, he could just get away with murder in that regard. As it works well in their favor, there has to be some form of adjustment right now from Kimikins, and it is the slow approach into the site. They spot out 1, 2, and the hits. Oh, Killua. That flash was just perfect for him to trap, set specifically to hold Liberated. Does even more than that for them. Ja aggresses as he just tries to desperately get an opening here. And Styron is by himself.
30 seconds left.
Do they know? I think they actually were able to spot him. The challenge and the challenger. And he just done for in full sense again here.
Switching sides.
Over and over again, they will get an advantage. And over again, we will be put into match point.
And over again, it's the the mid-doors aggression S, right? It's the conditioning so far of how Full Sends have been able to deny entry from, you know, B long or B site, and also mid doors. And now again, it's Potter finding these impact frags because he opts in, gate crashes out, and then is able to work across the map with his teammates, which again is providing a lot of information. But KK trying to do similarly. It's the Sky Smoke and the salvos across towards A, which affords Styron an alt orb. Then you gotta work carefully across the map as well. Once again, Razor Vines all across the site, but oh, it's Ja, and he gets caught!
Yeah, the double peek, it just does not do anything against him. Wayne,
Spike planted.
well, he's not going to be able to stop that plant now, can he? And it's just straight up charge or retreat back into A main. They have so much post plant. You can already see that, well, Sephiroth is going to be looking for that that anti-flank or flank himself. And again, just hold the fort. A straight up defuse from Wayne here. Calls around the util. Just try to challenge them. Vera, he has to be aware that there has to be something coming around the corner right now. He is detained as well as decayed, and they're just slowly creeping in. This is just nowhere, no near better than the last rounds, and that's going to be Kimmy Kittens falling down. Full sense. Answer back 1-1. It is what we were already expecting as we spotted, you know, both of the teams play it out. Just wanted to confirm if Kimmy Kittens was on the Neon before, yeah, or on the Killjoy before. Yep. So it is going to be their own flavor of comp here on Fracture. Nothing changed. Nothing improvised or mixed up. It is going to be what we've seen in the past between these two teams, and it seems like Full Sense looking to play the aggressive style here to go. Maybe for an aggressive push out on Dish, which could actually catch some of the players from Kimmy Kittens that is situated to maybe push on Arcade.
No. Wayne is kind of watching the back as well, though, so that's going to be one of the factors. Fault line at the ready for kill as well, but nothing really spotted, so Full Sense and Kimmy Kittens continuing to push out. Sephiroth receiving the brunt of contact, but Arc Rose popped and ready. Crazy Guy able to find the flick. That's Laz down.
Oh, the nade.
Sephiroth, yeah, the nade as well, but manages to dance around the outskirts of it, so tucks himself underneath the boxes and finds Crazy Guy. The rest of the team still trying to work their way across tower, but more players coming through. Sephiroth still continuing to peek. That's 3 kills for the guy. Ja able to swing out for a 1, makes that a second, but down to the final kill, and he finds Killua. 3K for Ja, 3K for Sephiroth, and Kimmy Kittens picks up the pistol.
Yes, Killua can't use his Nen at that point, but that was such a close fight. What a position that we saw there from Sephiroth. Just at 22 health as well, he was able to just get around hiding on dice and then also dodge the aftershock for so much value, even again at low percentage HP. Still though, very close, as you did mention, Judge being able to be the hero with the pistol. Good starting round for Kimmy Kittens, and every round that you can get at his advantage is a well-earned one, and just again a big boon for you. Full Sense though, not seemingly phased by it. Already trying to get some early map control here on A main. Alarmbot gives it away. Ja hears it, just backs away immediately into the safety of his own team.
Recalling my bot.
Yeah, quick and away, but still then kind of regrouping and trying to figure out which would be the safer site to hit. Ooh, Full Sense chasing them across the zip line though.
Can they hear this?
All right. No, because they started to walk as they reached the end of that
They
rope.
can't walk on
But
the zip line.
I mean, not like walk, literally. Come on, Asteroid. Still, though, they went towards the wrong side a little. And that's going to be that's going to forward Kimmy Kitten to spike plant on A. Ja hears them towards the back. Turret receives contact. Oh, and he's looking to spray through.
Yeah, now he just backs away. Now that he hears the brunt, if not the majority of the Full Sense forces already looking to fight, but holding those, you know, little bit of angles. And it's the peeker that's always going to have the one up. Got to be careful about Leviathan. Such a menace with the with the Guardian and everything. Here comes the push out from rest of Full Sense. The double smoke though from, well, this Brimstone allows them for a bit more coverage. The problem here is Kimmy Kittens is starting to lose players left and right. They have to be able to at least transition the weapons out, but it seems like the exit frag is just going to be solid from Full Sense. They all die, but so does Kimmy Kittens.
And that comes down in the hands of Leviathan. Just swallows them up whole as they try to escape away, backing in towards A main. Not the most successful round. Yes, the spike went off. Yes, they got their cash, I guess, but they also lost a lot of those bulldogs and rifles, which would have given them, a slight opportunity in this third round. Nonetheless, it will be more of an advantage for Full Sense, especially Leviathan, who's really close to his ult now as well.
Comes around now, and Kimmy Kittens only really buy the Hero Vandal for Vera, as everyone else is just going to be on the bonus pistols at this point even. Full Sense, though, got so much bang for their buck, as well as just so much ult charge for Leviathan. Look at that, just 2 more kills, and he will have his Hunter's, or rather not his Hunter's Spear, but his Nightfall. Tries to set things up. And it seems like Kitten's not really dissuaded from pushing up into B. Ja. I like the idea here, nothing to break that lockdown. And Laz, well, he's waiting for it, but he has to back away at some point. And yeah, there it is. That is so not depressing, but oppressive, rather. Well, it could be depressing if you lose the sight and lose the round. Sure.
You're on the other side. The peep shells! That's a little bit depressing for Laz as he gets tagged up by that. Leviathan, though, will, look to brighten up his team spirits with that one little frag coming out from the exits of bench. But at the same time, Sephiroth now launching his own assault, slowly creeping it back up forward from tunnel, now onto the site. Leviathan marks the exit of tower as Crazy Guy sets up these salvos. So trying to burn down the timer on the spike again. Full Send still looking for their targets, looking to pick them apart. Nanoswarm continuing to tick that timer down, but still, Wayne has to be the one to find some of these shots if he is to save the round. Goes in for another swing. And with Potter trying to spin around, throwing off his crosshair, Wayne still lets a shot. It's a thrifty win for Kimmy Kittens.
What an insane hold for Kimmy Kittens. Again, that's the power of the post plant for you. And okay, sure. The nade kill and everything was a sweet start. The lockdown was, again, kind of just... You really don't have any answers to that, right? Unless you can maybe wallbang through the floor with an Odin or something. But other than that, just a solid use of delay tactics. And what was kind of important there was I thought Crazy Guy was going to get caught before he uses his guided salvo. So that extra bit of like 2 to 3 seconds for him to delay things was huge because it also allowed the rest of the delay tactics for Kimmy Kittens to be used at a later period in that post plan.
Yeah, that's insane. Even with the kills for Full Sense, that's definitely gonna nag behind their minds. Something they're gonna be thinking about how they want to work against Kimmy Kitten's game plans for now. But Vera looking very ready, almost landing a flick. Now straight on towards tower, challenging the Razor Vines. Finds Laz, looks for the flight path into sight, spots Sephiroth, and calls it out to his team that he is inside of the sky's smoke. So looking for the spams, they finally spot Sephiroth out, and they also take another player down, coming out from the generator side as well.
Yeah.
And that's already the entire site controlled.
One enemy remaining.
Timing, and Wayne's just already prepared for that. Quick little refrag as Potter did deal with Wayne, but Farah's just there. Swift for with Retribution. And Kimmy Kittens, back and forth we go. Or not actually back and forth, completely going forth. And his Full Sense have yet to really answer for it. I was about to ask if there's any chance that we may be looking at, again, another Potter operator. It's been such a big thorn on the side of Kimmy Kittens, and now he's going to be bringing that ferocity potentially here on this 5th round as he buys up for it. First contact is going to be, at least for Arcade, but no one's going to be there for Kimmy Kittens. They're looking for a site.
Potter on the Neon, though, and he does have the overdrive, but currently Kimmy Kitten's not really fully running straight into him. So having hit B for, past few rounds now, it's straight in towards A, but also holding the off-angle jaw in case someone does walk out.
Oh, they can't see their barrels.
Or if he hears the footsteps as well, yeah.
So close. Oh, I think, yeah, he just wins that one. Unless there was like an insane flick. That should have been something else. Killua, though, hello. Gets an insane kill onto Vera, but Ja holds dish by himself, able to get a dub and everything else. Flash did not really connect, so it's going to be just a raw firefight between Crazy Guy and Laz, and he wins that one out. Still, round settles, and it seems like it's going to be post-plant already. Sephiroth very close, trying to force out Crazy Guy into the open as he will get almost caught by the molly, but the angle keeps him alive for the meantime. Now he gets wall-banged, and now Styron is by himself. The big problem to this one, though, is Styron does have the fault line. They can call in Ja as well, but Potter deals with that so quickly. Now, Orbital Strike should allow for a start of the defuse. Styron, can he stop it? Looks like that's going to be a no. And Potter's around the corner, can't really wallbang for anything, and that should be that. Huge retake for Full Sense.
Yeah, tried to reposition as well off the reload, but a little bit unfortunate, Styron. Crazy Guy, burning the Armageddon wanting to buy time for the team once again, right? Especially with Ja, who's doing so much, holding Dish individually. But down to the very end, it just is the shot coming in from Potter. It also is Sephiroth being able to provide that additional support with the fast lane and then the orbital strike. Just so much that earns Full Sense that first round. So let's see how this carries forward with Potter opting once again, chased over by the little Prowler, but Vera's still safe for now.
Oh, the white swing. Leviathan just gets dealt with. They know that Potter's right there, but he opened the door. And well, the Chamber of Secrets gets completely exposed as Potter has to back away. Concuss is right in front of his face. Anyone holding on to the... Well, onto drop, onto Dish. Doesn't get that 1-for-1 pick. Still, big flanks coming in from Full Sense. Timing is going to be very crucial with Sephiroth hits on the head. Now it's Vera and Ja. Ja still coming around the corner as well from the spawn of the opponents. Vera's going to be holding on to the side itself. It's going to be quite difficult for him to wrap around, but there we go. First kill onto Potter is huge. 1 versus 2. Brings out the showstopper for the dub and brings out and starts to call all of his friends, even Paper X. No, that's fair. I'm kidding.
Okay, yeah, sorry. I mean, we're all Singaporean, so why not?
All right. We're all Singaporean, yes. I'm honorary Singaporean.
Honorary, yes. But nonetheless, yes, a really successful round coming out from Kimmy Kittens. First of all, dealing with, was it Leviathan on that little swing out from Wayne? It's the initial op being entrusted to Potter, but Kimmy Kitten finds the advantage in seizing the opportunity against Full Sense by taking A-main that decisively. And at the same time, for Vera to continue forward. So even though Potter does re-peek and does find a second player, because of that, the spike still somewhat afforded by Kimmy Kittens.
Yeah.
And now, if you are Full Sense, this timeout, I guess definitely a necessary one. I mean, you really need to know how to work across a map like Fracture. And it's not an easy one. 4 lanes.
Yeah, it definitely isn't, right? But I will say, though, the way that, again, Kimmy Kittens are able to just play around the map and force Full Sense to be aware of a potential lurk is, I think, was also giving them a bit of an opening here. Because Killua was holding, I think, Dish while preparing for potentially something, but nothing came, and then his hold towards a main was a little bit late, so he couldn't really get those 2 picks. If he did, I think that might have been a bigger boon for Full Sense there. Unfortunately, nothing happened. Bit of a smoke response from Full Sense on B main that has given the call for Kimmy Kittens here to start moving around underground and potentially go to the trap of where Full Sense is kind of setting up, but Crazy Guy just starts getting a bit of that information, and yeah, just backs away.
There.
Yeah, senses that it isn't exactly safe, but still planted firmly down. Maybe Ja in with the lockdown. I mean, he's good for this spot. Could even set up for a bit of a fake with it if he wants to. But of course, they don't really know that Full Sense is fully on the other side, especially closer towards bench. So Full Sense still keeping themselves masked behind that sky smoke for now, and that's ultimately what it comes down to for Kimmy Kittens. Stealth drone and everything already kind of burnt.
Yeah.
So they waited for the smoke, and now they're looking to trip the shear. Maybe mid-round it. No, you don't really have time. So just sending it into the B side as soon as this wall drops.
But it's kind of risky now, though, because you're letting Full Sense to set up.
It's so close.
Okay, they're going to do it the same thing. All right. Now, the question is there any delay tactics for Full Sense, though, at that point? Oh, this is a huge pick from Full Sense. Can they break it? Yes, they do, but they've shown their hand already. They're playing too much onto underground. Still, no hold onto the site just yet. There has to be some push. There has to be some plan. Where is it? Oh, my God. This is so close. Potter delays. He's able to. No, yeah, he is. Oh, my God. They took too long. Kimmy Kittens, they were like, yeah, we got our advantage. We got the lockdown and everything, but it's not going to happen once again. Full Sense, they just swing out. And Kimmy Kitten's caught unawares.
Yeah, that's gotta hurt. Against a thrifty round as well, but it comes down to it, and it's just Potter who also spots out the right target at the right time. Spike being dropped in that fashion. Ooh, lovely work by our observer. That's awesome. But yeah, I mean, that's a round that definitely hurts for Kimmy Kittens. You know, I wonder if it's like a call where they made preemptively and just had the trust to, okay, let's just wait for the shear. But it doesn't work out nonetheless. Now, off towards the other side again, from bench, straight back in towards the B site. They got the Buckies, they got the half buys, they're trying to work off of it.
So close. Vera, no contact just yet. Trying to set it up. Play for that CQC if they can, but they have to set up the smokes themselves. It's so difficult to be in this position, at least as Kimmy Kittens, because you have to, well, just potentially wait, right? You can't really face these long fights, except for Ja that has the Vandal in hand. He's got the first contact, but that's just, at least it. So Vandal's down already for Kimmy Kittens. Now they've set up the smoke already, and they should be able to plant this spike. But now this post plant is just going to be so damn difficult to clear out for Kimmy Kittens.
At least it still is a little bit of money, so trying to keep that invested in for the long game, but Full Sense, of course, still trying to work their way across. I mean, you gotta keep in mind, some of these rounds have gone through because Kimmy Kittens just uses their utility to buy out so much time. Crazy Guy does spot them out, though. He needs to stay alive, though, because he is the Teo, but unfortunately caught out by Leviathan. But nonetheless, the team able to hold down tower with just the classic Siren makes it happen.
Question is now, where did that concuss come from? Styron didn't use his fault line, so was he hit by like Crazy Guy before he got knocked out with his own concuss? Because that was pretty big if he did, because you'll see it here in the replay when they start coming out from the ropes. Yeah, there it is. See? Potter's coming in, but he's just concussed, so it seems like he was able to throw it out. Or it's either maybe Full Sense hit themselves with their own fault line. Either way, that was a very, very big lapse, but it's Thrifty for Thrifty here, man. Good answer from Kimmy Kittens.
Right, one way or another, it kind of hurts. And back into it, Kimmy Kittens launch an assault from bridge side spawn. Ja coming back to join his teammates. I believe, yes, Potter and Chris have heard it though, so clearly rounding it back. But Vera has already gotten onto side. Oh, Potter holds the angle. 2K snuck back up. Wayne fires back with a 2K of his own. Spike retrieved and planted soon enough. Wayne looking to stick it all the way through, but getting hit now by the Rolling Thunder from Killua. Without the guns, though, can Full Sense really close out this round? They've managed to pick up one Vandal, and Sephiroth looking to push on up. Vera trying to watch out for Sans. Orbital strike set through from Wayne, and he does burn down one more player, but Killua out from Sans spots him out. It's down to just Ja. Has to hold the angle, has to land the shots, but Sephiroth says no dice, no deal. Full Sense takes this round.
Yeah, it might have been a bit too overeager there from Ja. He still had 2 Nano Swarms left in his arsenal to play for that 1 versus 1, knowing as well that his teammate already spotted the last player, Sephiroth, coming in from a main, and the spike was already planted out in the open. There was probably no real reason for him to go for that, you know, that immediate 1 versus 1 clutch after this kill against Killua. Because again, look at this. Yeah, spike planted out in the open. You had the Nano Swarm. But again, it's one of those things where you're just feeling that rhythm and wanted to go for that fight. Unfortunately, it's not going to work, and Sephiroth clutches the round. Very, very needed from Full Sense.
Yeah, such an amazing clutch. We've seen this several times now, though, from Kimmy Kittens, and I'm really starting to worry for them. But right now, whatever the case might be, they are trying to approach the map a little bit differently. This time from attacker side spawn, trying to push on through into A main, but you gotta respect the smokes from the other end.
Yeah, for sure. Just one of those things. Now, seems like Kimmy Kitten's not dissuaded, using as much of the zipline as they can. I mean, one of these days, right? It's going to be a boom catastrophe once again, but thankfully enough, Full Sense aren't one of those teams to peek out so aggressively. But so this gives a bit of options. Vera, though, immediately uses his satchel, gets in. That's a quick little contact. And Laz might actually have to back away here. Sephiroth has found 2 kills already. Styron's kind of stuck by himself. And I mean, they got into A side control already. His smoke? Oh, he's slowly creeping out to go the other direction. The fight doesn't go Potter's way as Crazy Guy gets the W. Ja was so close to getting the pick onto Sephiroth. Not going to happen. Now this A site is going to be a bit of an awkward take. Stun and Armageddon used to clear out some opening here. As Styron comes around the corner, but he was the one delivering the payload with that spike. Unfortunately, it's not going to be for him, and just Crazy Guy cannot find the timing, cannot find the opening to pick it up, and full sense clap back.
Yeah, also feeling the pressure of the time working against them. It's another one of these rounds where it feels as though Kimmy Kittens puts a little bit too much faith in their utility. It is a very well-placed piece of utility, there we go, where Crazy Guy lands the Armageddon perfectly, especially with the stun coming out from Siren as well, to fend off anyone who might be watching from around spawn area or from Sands. But Full Sense timed it perfectly, and they managed to get ahead of that, and that's why they were able to take those players down at the end of the round. So still, next round coming up, and once again, just trying to play around the conditioning from before. You know, this time there isn't a Sky Smoke towards A main, and Kimmy Kittens might be thinking, there might be a push out coming out from Dish. Let's go and check. And the full squad senses, it's all clear. We might have an opportunity to contact towards A. And that's what they're going for. Sephiroth tries to make a play for it, but unfortunately, it's a bit of a whiff as his crosshair placement is thrown off. Leviathan and Laz, though, here and ready to assist. And it just puts up that huge choke point up from drop. All of the Kimmy Kitten players all decimated, and it's just Ja coming out from A main. Always on a bit of alert, but he's got nothing but a sheriff this time.
Yeah, such a difficult position to be in. And he has to still deal with Laz that is on the site itself, and he has no idea where the player is situated on. There's an Arc Rose right in front of him. Gets blinded, but tucks himself in the right position. Pushes through a little bit too aggressively, and that Shears is going to shut him away from just, again, repositioning away and back.
There.
Oh, Laz, though, has given away his position. I think Ja, was he able to upgrade into a weapon? Looks like no, it's trying to. Unfortunately, not going to happen this time in Full Sense. They're giving us another game here, man. They're answering back against the Kimmy Kittens onslaught of the earlier rounds of Fracture.
Yeah, they've really started to figure out how Kimmy Kittens are trying to attack into these rounds. You know, the conditioning from some of the previous rounds are coming into effect, especially with, you know, the way that that Full Sense have repeatedly held or pushed out of A now.
Yeah.
So once again, Kimmy Kitten's trying to work off of that initial pressure. They need to take more space around A. They're coming back in towards Dish. Meanwhile, it's Crazy Guy who's on his lonesome, holding attacker spawn.
I like it.
Okay.
It's a very good way to go about things. Lockdown again, though. As you mentioned here, gonna be used. Crazy Guy hiding around the corner. Whoa, Potter! Oh my goodness, truly you're a wizard, Harry. As he was able to just get the shot off with the shorty. That was some beautiful stuff from him. This is so difficult to be in right now for Kimmy Kittens. Where are you actually going to be playing your post plan? You're two players stuck on the site, a couple of stunts here and there, and you're just done for. You can already see Styron gasping for any form of HP. Vera's already caught. There's the flash out, but it does absolutely nothing. And then Wayne just comes out to hopefully swing for a fight, but it's not working in his favor. Now that Spike is planted in just no man's land, so Ja is going to have a monumental task of picking it up, but he will not. And well, Full Sense, they've come around full swing. 6-6. Equalize.
Alright, we are back in from the halftime break into it. 6-6 tied up score, but this time, Kimmy Kitten's on the defense, Full Sense on the attack, with a bit of a creep up in towards Dish. A similar setup to what we've been seeing from Kimmy Kittens.
It really is. And it's so difficult to be in this spot right now, I think, as Kimmy Kittens at least, right? Because I feel like Full Sense, they're showing to us how strong their grasp truly is of just being able to adapt to the situation. That being said, though, Styron was a casualty there, as well as Killua, so both the breaches in the process. Potter, though, I like the idea of this one. Going to be potentially pushing out. As soon as the smoke dissipates, Wayne does not want any heat of that. Hides around the corner, gets spotted. Uses immediately his burst of speed. With that that buff of his, while that was happening, you could just already see Leviathan going to work. We're just down to Vera already. It's another pick. He will have, well, paint shells in hand, waiting for Potter to just go in for the quick little pick, and he is just reactively just shooting everywhere, hoping for a shot. Unfortunately, he goes a little bit too ballistic, and well, that's going to be what Full Sense was counting on, and they get themselves that round advantage.
Yeah, I mean, taking a page out of their book, you know, the hit coming into sight, quick and effective, but also down to it, apart from the trades, it's how they held it post-plant, especially with how Potter was hiding in towards defender spawn, and that's kind of a positioning that affords him that duel against Vera, who, yeah, was just trying to find anyone from any corner possible, but that said, that's going to be that pistol round now. Full Sense buying up, Leviathan in for the Ghost. Solo mission towards A, while the rest of the team, okay. Arc Rose as well.
Go, go, go.
Not too sure if Les might have spotted out his opponents, but nonetheless, you know, that's free information and a free sight for our Full Sense.
Don't think he was able to. Maybe he was. So I don't know. Anyways,
yeah.
Using. I don't think this is going to expose their positioning because of that. Anyways, Aftershock's already been used. Can't really push through that, at least for the moment. There was a bit of time where Killua was in trouble, but you can see how quickly Full Sense is able to just respond to the stimuli. Ja gets spotted around right now, and he just falls to Killua. We're down to Styron and Wayne. Styron, yeah, I mean, he's never going to just tap that. Play for the exits if you can. Similar with Wayne here. That smoke dissipates. You just do not want to give any more ult charges for Full Sense. And I think that's going to be around. Full Sense will be taking another one. And again, Kim Kitten's starting to lose a bit of that tempo that we were seeing at the start of Fracture.
Who am I kidding?
That's right.
My knees
Full Sense are quick to secure it. You know, it's a different setup to what Kimi Kittens has been used to. So now it's the onus is on Kimi Kittens to find the adaptations back against Full Sense, of course, with how Full Sense have been successfully starting out the attacks. But at the same time, I mean, look at this little setup too. You got the Judge out in Jaw's hands as he holds down to B tower, as well as the rest of Kimi Kittens trying to go and retain A main control. Full Sense, though, kind of bypassing most of that by approaching the site from Dish.
Now, seems like the defensive posture here of Kimi Kittens is just to ensure that A main is going to be there for the time being, but this also just gives away the A side, I think, once Potter starts setting things up. You can already see Crazy Guy using... Yeah, there's a response from Vera, but still should be a push regardless. And I can see that Vera is trying to at least isolate the fight here, but Potter still was able to get the site. The drop down, can he get any conversions? Just the one, though, and that's still problematic here for Kimi Kittens. That being said, everything else, Spike actually out in the open, and Crazy Guy can actually use his util to stop that plan and everything considered. Potter able to just back away from this one. Wayne finds Potter, interestingly enough, and we're at 2 versus 2. Kimi Kittens so far has done a pretty good job at just answering all of this shenanigans at the A site. Wayne can wait for Jaw to get closer into the fight of things, and they start working around, but this is 2 different fights, different isolated positions. I think he also might have heard him just dropping his weapon there. Wayne's about to go for the peek as well, and Ja through the smoke. This is going to be quite difficult as he goes in, and they just could not deal with how quickly Leviathan just shuts them down.
Yeah, not too much, not at all. They made an attempt for sure. I think Vera really tried to get ahead of it by getting into that corner to spot them out as they went through the drop, but that one little flash unfortunately threw him off quite a bit, and Full Sense do a great job of staggering themselves on the approach. Everyone's kind of jumping off to different positions. They all have their own role and responsibility as to how they want to take the site, and that's kind of how they are then able to find that trade effectively. And of course, towards the end as well, just a little bit unfortunate for, Ja on the approach, the lone sentinel with just the Judge, but nonetheless, Full Sense kind of gets a good read for everything right now. I mean, just Potter is quick and effective on this Neon, and that's the bonus round picked up as well. This could be a 10-6, unless, you know, timeouts are able to do something.
Well, you know, considering the past two maps that we've already seen, they definitely can. I think the biggest problem there is how long lasting are the effects, right? Considering how, you know, Pearl was just not to the flavor of Kimmy Kittens, especially in that overtime rabble we just experienced. That being said, though, full sense, so dang scary here with Potter, just an absolute menace. I mean, like, you have, you know, everyone else holding the spike, and then they drop it. Potter's just there, responding so quickly. And with the breach, it's just so oppressive. How can you actually deal as Vera, right? You can throw a paint shell, sure, it stops the other players, but it doesn't stop Potter at all. What do you have an answer for this man?
Certainly have to find it somehow. Perhaps an op in one of the future rounds, but for now, just gonna be Potter once again trying to lead that charge from A main into the site. Slides underneath and does land a spree as well. 2 kills and Leviathan up for the next. Wayne trying to look for an angle up from the top of... Oh, well, I don't know if he's gonna be able to find it.
That is, there it is. Pew!
Okay.
They already knew. Wayne, though, oh, he just looked the other direction at the worst possible time. In full sense. Complete control of this game. And it's just so difficult to try to just deal with. Look at how just good that entry is from Potter. He just charged right in. Reckless abandon, no care in the world, but it's not like he's in danger at all. It's because of just how clean his teammates can follow up on him, right? And this is how fast the fault line and the relay bolts clear out so many of these corners on Fracture, especially on the attacking side for full sense.
That's the whole thing. It's just this map is, well, a little bit, but now spotting Wayne out as he tried to push out. Does get tagged down. So no early info for the side of Kimmy Kittens. I mean, they do get a little bit. Ja has to hold as well. Manages to do so, and Killa answers right back. So a couple of trades all throughout now. Oh.
Oof. That's a big one. Styron Vera, he's got the showstopper, but again, okay, as the smoke dissipates, slowly approaching, he has to hit a couple of these shots. Vera's the only one left standing here, and he cannot push through this with the Razor Vine still in front of him. And he's just waiting, hopefully, for an opportune moment. Tucks himself into the corner. It's a little bit quiet here. Now he knows there's an Arc Rose close onto the site. He can at least try to look for one more. But the problem is, again, it's just... Leviathan. I think they're just about to spot each other, and Leviathan was just so quick to realize the lurk. In full sense, unstoppable at this point.
Truly. Economy once again, and just sort of shambles. Maybe half buys with the light shields. Or at least, you know, a couple of rifles for some of them, but needing to conserve quite a bit for some of the upcoming rounds as well. But then at this point, it's also possibly map point for full sense, especially with the ultimates at hand. Just the way that they have been able to work across the map and to control it as well. Reading for, like, okay, Kimmy Kittens might have someone to come in through a bit of a flank, and they're just reading these rotations so well as well. Now, Laz kept on towards spawn while the rest of the team is towards bridge side spawn. And then they creep up towards B. Ooh. That's a sheer wall tripped as well. That informs Laz as to everything that he needs to know.
Off your feet!
Very close to use. There it is. They triggered the ultimate already. Potter's already looking for Ja, who actually stays alive on tower. No reposition just yet, but he overcommits and actually falls to Killua still. While that was happening, lots of kills coming through from Full Send onto the site. They see the flank coming in from Laz. They dwindled in the numbers, and no plant just yet to come out from Full Sense. If they can, though, if they can sneak this through, Sephiroth does have his orbital strike. Could be even used right now to just allow Killua to go for the cross. Does Sephiroth have anything else to assist his teammate deliver the spike into B? For the moment, seems like no. So he's going to be looking for fights. He does take a bit of damage, tries to go for the cross. It's a bit of a difficult 4 versus 2 here. He spotted out a couple already. 20 seconds on the clock. They see everything else, and they will just get hella delayed. 15 seconds. But this is just delay tactics for the moment. I think there's still time for Full Sense to go for the plant, but it is going to be a very risky 1 versus 4 if ever they do continue to do so, which they will not, as they will try to go for the fight. And that is going to be Kimmy Kittens with a pretty, actually good hold, especially with Josh starting it off against Potter.
Yeah, finally being able to crack that away from from Full Sense. Just turning things around on its head and now needing to carry that momentum forward into more rounds. Of course, though, Full Sense being able to buy it up once again. Maybe not the Rolling Thunder for it this time, but you still got to watch out for the Nightfall then coming out from Leviathan.
That's true. And Leviathan is just so good at being able to, or Potter is so good at just being able to play around that as well, right? Now, bit of utility being thrown out. Potter gets, ooh, okay. Wasn't able to retreat in time, and Crazy Guy gets the kill. Very crucial for Kimmy Kittens right now, as they're at least so desperate for any kind of picks whatsoever. Crazy Guy tries to back away, but Laz does get the free frag in the end. Now to 3 versus 4. Kimmy Kittens have a very solid chance now. We'll see if they're still going to be able to make it happen. Showstopper used by Vera. Brought in, and Sephiroth goes bye-bye. Sleep he will go. Laz pushes through. But again, that decay is just so much for him to handle. And Kimmy Kittens are answering back slowly but surely.
Yeah, quite a bit. I mean, Full Sense trying to delay their utility a little bit. Their ultimates a little bit. I mean, you know, it's the Visalt to sort of bait out a reaction or to see if anything would be sent through. The Showstopper connecting onto Sephiroth, and then that's when I believe Leviathan thinks he has a slight chance at sending in the Nightfall to find then a trade against Vera. But Vera just goes in for that spray straight into the choke point. Does find Leviathan as well. And that at that point, that's then the round. So good answers coming out from Kimmy Kittens against Full Sense, but at the same time, yeah, you know, it still is a little bit of a 3-round gap, and Kimmy Kittens definitely has a chance at closing in on that gap.
I like how, again, you know, Kimmy Kittens are slowly able to edge back these round losses that they've had against Full Sense. And it's more, I think, like them just going for the individualistic plays, in the sense that you saw there was a round where, you know, Full Sense was going to charge for the B site. They didn't clear tower altogether. It was just Potter, and it was just a 1 versus 1 at that point, where I think Full Sense was kind of overreaching, right? And it's the same thing as well here on the A site. Maybe it's just a reminder that they don't really have to go that incredibly deep into the site without really getting the site itself with the other members of Full Sense.
Yeah, actually just sort of being able to find that against them. Individual moments and stringing that together into towards a bit of a more of a team effort, but still Full Sense now trying to cool things off and slow down the pace a little bit. Arc rows in towards the A site just to try to check with more, but not really spotting too much, and all of a sudden the door opens wide with the special delivery from Crazy Guy. Stunned and kills Laz. Potter, though, tries to stay undetected, looking for an opportunity to spring and surprise his opponents, while the rest of his team then hiding their movements across the map into the B site.
Look at this positioning from Ja. Turret.
Vera as well.
Yeah. Oh, are they actually going to spot Vera? This is problematic. The turret didn't do anything. Ja, though, is going to be holding around the corner there, as maybe his teammate was there for live bait. You know what? Fishermen go fishing. And it seems like Ja was able to reel himself in a big one. Potter, though, to go through, but the problem is he was also heard. Styron backs away, but Potter chases. My God, this man has no fear.
Smoke's down.
What can you really do against a daredevil such as this?
10 seconds
Spike's gonna get planted with just 10 seconds left onto the clock, and to even stop it from being planted into the ground, looks like it is. Still, have they forgotten that Potter is still holding somewhere on Dish? The reload is going to be crucial because Jaw's gonna be able to go for the punish, and then you just see Jaw able to get the final kill onto the side. Didn't even see that happen, and now that's gonna be Kimmy Kittens with an answer back, a clapback, once more against Full Sense.
Yeah, finding those numbers. They had the setup that those sort of traps on the B side. It was a little bit odd with the turret not even spotting some of the players. I guess it was angled closer towards site and a little bit away from tree. So just the cone of vision not quite helping Wayne out in that situation. But thankfully Ja as well as Vera are then able to find the rest of those kills. Then reading the situation, getting onto site. It's just a good setup from Kimmy Kittens overall. The next upcoming rounds, though, this is where, once again, they need to continue stringing more of these rounds together, because Full Sense found 5 previously in a row, and now Laz has pulled out the op. So trying to watch for the angles in case Kimmy Kittens does push out, while the rest of the team approaches back in from bench into B site. Prowler to check the back of Arcade. Oh, what's this? Laz slow creep forward.
Yeah. At some point, you have to get that, map control here via Laz, via B main, just because you need to give information for Full Sense. Oof. All right. Technical pause, though, but the round is still continuing. I'm not sure if we're going to reset it or whatnot, but not sure what's also happening here. That being said, as I mentioned, kind of interesting. The slow approach from Full Sense was important, say at the least, because they might try to go for a quick explode and try to spot out this the positions where Ja was in previously. But if you saw the minimap and everything, he was hunkered down somewhere on generator rather than dice. So he is kind of expecting potentially that he will get isolated on the site and had no support from his team. So he's playing at a much safer location, because if you also saw where Kimmy Kittens was, the rest of them, they were placed a little bit more heavily onto the A site.
Yeah, it's all these like positions, but also with, I guess, players on the A site, they're then able to kind of have the additional numbers to fend off Full Sense's attack, which has been sort of the way that Kimmy Kittens are able to work their defenses so far. But at the same time, it's just maybe a little bit of a tech issue, so possibly hitting it for a bit.
Yeah.
But in this time, they're not, how they're able to possibly come back in for some of the upcoming rounds.
I mean, whatever happens, right? It is still such a close endeavor between these teams. I honestly thought it was over at some point, just looking at how dominant Full Sense is, but you really can't count out these teams, right? Just considering how innovative sometimes they can be, as well as just so resilient, right? And I'm speaking about this from both teams' perspective, where Kimmy Kittens looked like they were already just out of it, and then you see these 2 rounds, and you're seeing, you know what? This could actually go the mile. This could go up until the very end again. Seems like we were just having a bit of technical issues on the Full Sense side, and from the looks of things, a reset into the round as well. Okay.
All right, and then we would be back into it. So once again, taking a look at the state of the game, we got 2 off the side of Kimmy Kittens and the overdrive for Potter. Needing to find success by Full Sense once again approaches back in towards the B site. Prowler to clear out the back of Arcade, which does alert somewhat.
And here it is. Yeah, this is the same setup we were talking about a while ago, right? Just a little bit of delay tactics with the nanoswarm so that they can stop the plan on the spike, but I like the pick out from Crazy Guy here. He did at least catch, a bit of the Full Sense players lacking, trying to check if there's anybody actually on the side itself, which I like the idea of. Ja playing the closer angle now, or the safer angle, now he can use his lockdown to just pierce everyone in. And then, of course, that position where there's just Laz holding the position or holding the angle can get flushed out, which he just immediately does. Okay, the defuse continues. Killua is going to actually stop the defuse. Okay, this is workable for Full Sense. And I think there's just too much commitment for Kimmy Kittens to go for the defuse rather than the fight, and Full Sense just take the fight to them.
Yeah, once again, just committing some of these objective plays, but not really realizing kind of what Full Sense, can afford to do as well in positions that they are holding. So it's the utility set down in a kind of giving them the advantage as to how they might be able to take up the other players from Full Sense, but then down into it, you got players like Killua working alongside, then able to swing out tree, just takes them down one by one. And there we have it, point for Full Sense, but they're going just as quick. Straight gate side. Potter, though, needing to run away from the utility being thrown back at him. But then, with an Armageddon, like, you have to take space. Kimmykins needs to go somewhere else because Full Sense are quick on the rotation. There's a lot of trust into Ja, as well as his utility all across the B site.
Yeah, that was so much burnt already from Kimmy Kittens, and it is going to be so damn difficult, I think, for Kimmy Kittens to re-encompass now that, again, look at how quickly Full Sense was just going to send it into the other side. Sephiroth just finds one. There's going to be a pick from Wayne, but then that's just the entirety of B already picked up by Full Sense. The only real bite that Kimmy Kittens will have is this Rolling Thunder. If they push into the smoke right now and find them, they might be able to get the conversion that they just need, which they do. Vera and Styron, they're hot on the push. They're hot on the trades, on the fight. But the Nightfall, it's gonna delay. It's gonna decay so much health. And look at that. Leviathan comes out from the depths and just puts Full Sense on the map once more. They have map advantage, they have serious advantage, and they have serious point as well in this series.
The first 3 maps. But I feel like on Fracture a little bit more, it has been that duel between the IGLs, actually. Leviathan versus Crazy Guy. And I feel like that's what it does come down to on a map like Haven as well, because you really have to work your way across the map. You need to find these reads. You need to set your team up for success. And the IGLs have to do, or they have to lead quite a bit of these, quite a bit of these plays.
Yeah, you lead by example, right? And we have seen that happen from Crazy Guy. I think most notably, he's been doing such a very big amount of effort just to try to, force back Full Sense by himself even. This point's not going to happen, though. He does give a bit of a tap here and there. Now he takes things to his own hands. He just finds out Leviathan rotating to the other corner. Push out. Not going to work from Potter, but Ja gets a shot off through the smoke. So it's in terms of the trades, it is looking a tad bit better for the Full Sense team.
Spike planted.
Well, the rest, Vera, Styron, and the remaining players of Kimmy Kittens starting to slowly encroach. Great shot from Ja all the way from heaven as well, helping out his team as there's only Laz and Sephiroth to remain, playing around the smoke for the meantime, burning as much time as they possibly could. The peek out as well, the double kill from Laz, and the reposition from Ja. They were able to just deal with the 2. And that's going to be the defuse. Kimmy Kittens very close, but able to have a very significant pistol round.
And it starts off with Crazy Guy, gets the call with the recon and the shock darts subsequently as well. And that's enough information to call for the rest of the team to then set up that bit of a flank all the way from, I believe it was like C all the way towards the back of A long.
Yeah.
And because of that, just having that numbers, having the read on how they want to play around the pistol round, gives them a bit of an advantage. But still, players like Laz, players like Potter are able to find bits of damage here and there. So definitely needing to respect them quite a bit as well. But we shall hit back into the thick of it as Crazy Guy continues to hold off A long. Potter straight into Garage, though.
Well, a little bit too impatient here, I think, from Full Sense. And Kimmy Kittens, again, just making quick work. You did mention again, Potter just aggressing through corner here, but Ja times it perfectly on the push. Crazy Guy assisting Ja potentially on that garage push, but the rest of Full Sense looking potentially for B. Tripwire right in front of their faces. Entry for Leviathan. Oh, did he spot him? Yeah, I think he did, but he second-guessed himself, and he actually falls. Leviathan now can just pocket himself at the back of the site. Josh should have the information as Crazy Guy did. See his
Last
feet and
player
everything.
standing.
Just one more player standing, and that is going to be Killua, spotted by the smooth slide of Vera into the site, and Kimi Kittens with a nice little retake.
Especially with Vera, though. I mean, the fact that he's the one picking up these 4 kills now means that he's really close to his ultimate, which could be a really big thing for the rest of the first half as well. But at least, you know, Full Sense getting that spike down does give them a little bit more in the money department, so being able to afford a lot. Leviathan is the only one with light shields in the next upcoming round. 2 Spectres, meanwhile, for Kimi Kittens. But then again, we got to keep our eyes on how Vera is then able to perform as the Phantom just comes into play. So a couple of light shields, but a very good chance for Kimi Kittens to convert this bonus.
This goes here.
Like you said,
towards Garage.
yeah, sorry, I was just thinking as well. Like you said, it is very possible that they can make that happen. I like that one, though. Nice little lineup on the shock dart to break the tripwire on B main. So there has to be some eyes from Kimi Kittens at least holding B just in case, right?
Yeah, a little, but at the same time, okay. Noting that it was Potter with that aggressive push in towards Garage from before, but this time he's human reconning a little bit, especially with the jiggles. But oh, look at that perfect relay. Both sides as well, but Vera wins out in the duel. Killua for the trade. But nonetheless, it is Full Sense who is reeling from the loss a little. 1 minute remaining, but because Laz has planted himself inside of C Cubby, the rest of the team are thinking that they do have a bit of an approach while most of the attention is brought away into Garage. Comes down, once again, the responsibility onto Jaw's shoulders. Does spot out the first and takes down Laz.
Yeah, all they have to do is really just delay tactics with these Cypher cages and everything. Jaw does get spotted at the back of the site. Wayne able to help him out as he drops the spike as well from the hands of Leviathan. We do have the big flanks coming in from Killua. 20 seconds, still manageable, honestly. And there you go. A stun, spotted, trying to go for the challenge, but, well, Styron is holding on. It's a very difficult place to maneuver here for Sephiroth, and he hasn't planted the spike just yet. He's got 10 seconds left into the clock. He has to deal again with Styron at the back of the site, which he will not, and Kimi Kittens with a solid 3 rounds over Full Sense.
Yeah, feeling the pressure for sure. You know, there's like no real safe space for him to plant on the site, so needing to find some of the initial frags, but it's gonna be Ja who finds them instead. And because of these little moments, then, well, Kimi Kittens are able to convert the bonus in full, and that's gonna be like already an incredibly strong start for this team. But as I say that, I am reminded of the fact that Kimi Kittens did start out with the bonus round picked up from Fracture as well. And then we kind of saw what happened towards the end of that first half as well. So let's see if Coach Leaf can continue to work his magic with this timeout.
Well, you know, considering the past 2 maps that we've seen, these are some very damn good timeouts from Coach Leaf. So potentially could assume that. But gotta say, though, Kimi Kittens always good for that starter, right? They build up that lead, they build up that momentum. Now the question is, can they keep it up? Can they hold it before Full Sense awakens again in the later portion of this particular map? That's always like it's like the theme right now of this series, right? Of this game. Just how well Kimi Kittens can hold on to that lead, because it seems like they can't really eke out the dub once Full Sense again is able to come back to their form.
Come back to their senses. Hey.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it would feel that way, but for now,
There.
not entirely sure, as you know, of course the buy not too great for Full Sense, but okay, a little bit of shock and awe with Potter being the first one in, but you gotta check out for the other side. See Link, Vera alongside Joss, still able to wreak havoc. Potter's the one who gets taken down initially, so this does set Laz up for a bit of a lurk. You know, the rest of the team looking for an opportunity outside from Garage, tripping the traps, but also for Killua to then sneak up and plant himself in towards window. Goes for the peek, but Ja has his number and dials it. Down to the last 2, Leviathan and Laz finds no entry into the site, sure, but Still off to the other end. Okay, a bit of a shot from Laz, but Styron's here, does get the first tag. Laz trades right back, and then Wayne to finish him off. Kimikins 4-0.
It's a pretty desperate neural theft as well, right? Low on HP, just trying to get as much information, hoping that maybe the defenders, Kimmy Kittens, are still pretty far from me, so maybe you can threaten the plant on the spike and maybe even just play for post. Still not looking too hot for full sense here. Being said, it was a weaker buy for them altogether. And, ooh, look at this, man. I was about to say, could be a setup that they were kind of planning after that particular round, and it's a 4-4 potentially here on A for both teams. And look at this, the transition. Potters is in a really bad place right now as he really just was stunned. Tries to hide around the corner, but already right in front of his face is Vera.
That's just a bit of a read from Kimmy Kittens as well. I mean, the past several rounds now has been, you know, sort of passive holds or bits of information being retrieved, but this time just wanting to take that space up around A, especially with the smokes being sent out by both Omens. But then, you know, full sense unbeknownst to them, it was a full clash from Vera coming on through. So now off towards the B site, because that would be the next most logical spot where full sense would head towards. If not, then it would be C, where you got the camera and everything. So now just spotting them out, going in for the shots, dumping their magazines into these general directions where, you know, they find a lot of the full sense players down to just Leviathan. And the poor guy is looking still for a bit of an entry pathway into a site. Maybe get the spike down, or to, I don't know, 40 seconds remaining, back off somewhere and save. He's got to watch out for his back too, and he's not too sure if, you know, Vera might have snuck up from underneath window.
Yeah, he's keeping a more composed positioning here. I think you're probably right. He's going to try to save the weapon at this point. But the thing is, there's 15 seconds, and sure, he's hiding, but at the same time, you can see the Kimikins already looking to go clean, clear everything up, and Vera is just, he's just angry right now. He's gotten already 4 kills, and he's halfway done once again to his overdrive.
Yeah, second one of the first half, right? 5 rounds already, very close to it. Of course, the ults for the rest of the team as well, but also for Killua, namely, who has the Rolling Thunder. A bit of an opportunity for full sense. They don't quite have the arsenal in this current round, though, but once again, needing to play around this sort of A pressure so far, which I think that's kind of what they're setting up for, because Kimmy Kittens has been kind of playing around this this portion of the map this way. So once again, you see that smoke, and you kind of do need to challenge it, but in what fashion is the question. So a bit of a recon allows them to sneak on through. Crazy guy on the other side trying to spam, but that's enough. They know that he's there. The fault line does connect, and Potter looking to take him down.
Whoa, he just got moved very far into the back of the site. Can't escape from Potter there, though. A lot of things committed already by, well, full sense, as you can see that, well, they're going to be able to plant the spike. Weaker weapons, all things considered. No upgrades on the weapons for Potter here. Is that going to matter, though, as there's just so much post-buy potential right now for full sense. One big flank coming in from Joss, so that means it's going to be 3 players of Kimmy Kittens playing close up. But again, smokes right in front of their faces. Ja has to pressure this flank at the back of the site. That is a beautiful aftershock. Still, the conversion, not yet too good here for Kimmy Kittens. Potter's already gotten access to his electric hands, and there we go. Part 2, Boogaloo, as it's only down to Ja. Unfortunately, they know already where he's situated. It's by the flank, and he can't really get close into the site itself. Gets the first pick onto Sephiroth, the second as well, but that's all of what he can really get into. And unfortunately, the round dusted full sense with the Thrifty.
Yeah, successful round, and of all the rounds to make it happen, it's gonna be a Thrifty. But the way in which they make it happen is just beautiful as well, because it's the way that they worked around the mental conditioning, you know, winning it a bit of an unwinnable scenario. Kobayashi Maru, I mean, figured out where Crazy Guy was, baited out his reaction, the Rolling Thunder, and then Potter to really cap off on that deal. But that's it, though. Still, kills being found by Ja towards the very end, and you still have Kimmy Kittens relatively active and online. 3 ultimates ready to let rip. And once again, we're back to these smokes. Bit of a trade back and forth. But this time, Crazy Guy not willing to challenge the angle. So Full Sense might get a bit more space to then walk on through. As they take that space, though, Kimmy Kittens trying to work their way across the map as well. I mean, they have an option of going back down mid, or the safer option, which would be to hold it from A link. And that's what they're opting to do. Stacks up onto the A site. And it all comes down to how much information Full Sense retrieves and how they're able to work around this push. Oh, it's just actually creeping up.
Oh, that's a bit of, that's very much a lot of them. The dash out for Potter, though, but he cannot find them, my guy. And unfortunately, Crazy Guy was already holding heaven. You can already see Potter working his way towards, well, Cubby, but it just blows up in his face. What a hold from Kimmy Kittens.
Yeah, we answer one right back. We answer one right back against you. Unbelievable. Just with the smokes, with the way that they received that contact, spotted out that many players, but still just dumped everything right back against them. And they're still holding on to their ultimates, mind you. They haven't really found the right opportunity to use them just yet. So back into it, maybe the same smoke, but also to hold mid in case Full Sense does decide on a different approach. And it does look as though they will be doing that in this very current round.
Difficult to be in the position of Full Sense right now. Just no answers to how good the hold of Kimmy Kittens are. And this is, I think, one of those just things where Kimmy Kittens just has everything locked and loaded for them. Look at how far Vera is already pushing up here. If he goes through right now, potentially could get a solid flank against Leviathan and Potter. And he's just about to hit this one too. Leviathan's already setting up a play right now. Drops right down and falls. There's still another one right in front of him, and again, his speed is just going to be quite difficult. Lazdo is trying to work his magic at the back of the site, or in the front of the site, while Wayne is going for this 1 versus 2, which he just brushes off. No problem whatsoever. Answer back with the neural theft as well. Gives away, I believe, Potter's position. You can already see where Vera as well as Crazy Guy is going to be hunkering down. Now they spotted each other. They push out from Potter right now. He really wants his challenge here, but doesn't realize that Crazy Guy has played Devil's Advocate, and that's going to be Kimmy Kittens with another one on the board, 7-1.
Yeah, and that's such a huge score, Asarai. It just keeps on going because Kimmy Kittens, they have the advantage, and they are playing to their advantage. Not really throwing it away, and they're just holding around these different spots on the map, right? Trying to stay ahead of the game. Every time they continue to throw that smoke outside of A lobby, Full Sense are forced to either challenge it or to go somewhere else on the map. And if you're Kimmy Kittens, you got these 5 players. They're always going to start out with that triple stack down mid. Full Sense now looking to challenge it, though. Now that they've got some rifles in hand, but the sprays just come through. No one's really fully tagged down just yet, though, so just a bit of an information exchange early on. Oh, that's nice. Okay, I see that. Laz has a trip down A lobby this time.
Ooh. Is that the first time? I think he's also used that too, right? So that they they won't get flanked whatsoever. It's also one of those... Oh, I don't think I've ever seen this tripwire used in an actual game. At least the one that's we've casted before, right? It's always the one outside.
That's a really good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if someone does push up A, past, behind the smoke, Full Sense would be alerted to it. Now then they can work around the rest of the map. So maybe keeping that for, more rounds in future. But they have also decided to just regroup, mask noise, and hit A, which a bit of a gamble, sure, but they did hear that drone as well, so at least they know just Crazy Guy somewhere on site. As long as we deal with him, we should be Gucci.
Speaking of Crazy Guy, yeah, he's just a turret. This is so difficult to just try to deal, right? If you don't have any stuns, again, Okay. I'm just gonna, shut my mouth right now. But to be fair, though, he's done the damage of at least getting the pick onto Potter. So that's the again, the head of the snake for Full Sense. Any big ultimates from Styron? Yep, he's got the Rolling Thunder. Anybody on Hell, be prepared, because you're about to get booped from your position. They're all stunned. Aftershock. Oh, I think it's gonna get 2 kills. No, woo, that's close. Good delay tactics, though, from Full Sense. As you can see, Aftershock as well into the Hunter's Fury. Does get already 2 picks, but here comes the rest of Kimmy Kittens. They're on for the fight right now. Big flex from Vera as well. Good stuff. And I think they just might have enough time to defuse the spike before it goes bye-bye. And yep, there it is.
0.56, rather close.
Yeah.
But still, like, insane movements from both sides. First of all, the Rolling Thunder is like chef's kiss. You've been holding on to that for quite a while. Now you have the best opportunity to use it. Send it into sight. Hell yeah. And then, like, Full Sense counters with their own utility just to stall and delay as well. Hunter's Fury as well as the Aftershock. The Hunter's Fury does a little bit more because you got 3 beams, right? And he sends the last one in towards players like, I think it was Wayne, somewhere towards the back of sight, just a little bit further up from Hell. But that wasn't quite enough. It wasn't enough damage, and they still tried to play around the smokes on the site. A bit of a progression one from, I believe it was Full Sense, but Vera somehow still around the edges of the smoke, spots out the next player, and still lands the shot. Like, that's crazy with how both sides are able to answer back and forth in that fashion. So,
yeah, just
favoring Kimmy Kittens in this moment for now, but there is still a very slight chance that Full Sense can turn this around on its head, but they are running out of chances, Asteroid.
That is very true, right? And this isn't as close as the other maps have been. Like, we had a map, I think of the first one, where it was 8-4, but then again, this is nowhere near that. And Full Sense feels that pressure, has to go for that second timeout even before we get into, even before we call halftime. So, all things considered, Kimmy Kittens just generous hold, if not a dominant hold, of this Haven map. Oh, Vera, timing. Oh, a little bit too overeager sometimes from Vera with those wide peaks, right? And Potter,
yeah,
always does a great punish play.
We've seen those a few times now. It definitely does sting, but faith in the rest of the Kimmy Kitten squad. We shall see. You know, they've kind of walked into that reaction now. So 4 players all across the map. Full Sense, 1 kill, and they are getting a read for it. It's like, we got a free C site. They're doing their due diligence and checking out a lot of the corners, but otherwise, good deduction. Good way to deduce where Kimmy Kittens might be positioning themselves. If they had a player like lurking outside of B even more now, then that would be even better as well. I guess Sephiroth does kind of fill that role around Garage. So let's see how the rest of this retake unfolds.
Well, as long as they start controlling the back of the site, then maybe. But I think they're a little bit too late to the party as well. They're burning so much time. But I mean, they have resources to play the retake, so might as well just try. All right, Joss actually hold it up. He's gotten the neural theft as well. But again, they have to know that there is going to be that very difficult post plan to just try to deal with. Smoke is dissipating. They've given away the position of one of the players that was defusing. That was going to be Wayne. Here comes Killua charging right in, and he just pokes his head into the smoke, finds Crazy Guy, and Wayne already dealt with.
Yeah, quick and easy. Still having solutions to work around that post-plant meta. So peek your head inside of the smoke. We find players. That's how we get them.
Yeah.
But also, just I think Killua being able to hold down as that secondary player inside of Garage was an added layer of defense onto the spike. So being able to work against Kimmy Kittens in a way. But now for the first time in quite a while, we might have seen Vera on the Outlaw from before, but now he's pulling out the op outside of Garage as well. He's holding a very tiny sliver.
No one wants to pick that position, at least, though. I do like the bravado, do like the answer, especially now that he's been, kind of scouted out that likes to play the sewer position near A. That being said, Full Sense, another try into things. Killua gets the orb as well. Once they start planning that spike, he will have his Rolling Thunder. Crazy Guy is already going to be spotting out the rest of them. It's a full commitment into the site itself. Just one shock dart to maybe soften up the planner, but there's no need to do so. And yeah, it's just going to be Full Sense holding this one in. But look at this. Rest of Kimmy Kittens, very, how do you mention this? They're already looking for the flank, so they're a lot closer than I was kind of expecting. pick stun already, and look at that answer back. Laz and Sephiroth, good stuff to just deny the backstab and everything. And Kimmy Kittens, it's all down to Ja, but you already know he's just gonna vacate potentially the site. Maybe, oh, never mind. Exit frags, maybe? Yeah, interesting.
They found my wire.
Yeah, I'm looking for at least a few. Gotta be careful though, because these windows are paper thin. Okay, well, Killua towards the back, that'll do the trick. 8-3 Aserai. Still pretty successful run for Full Sense. I mean, they're doing a good job at recognizing Kimmy Kitten's patterns in the retake.
Yeah.
We always know they're gonna set up a bit of a flank. They did that in the pistol round. They did that in some of the other rounds as well. This time, let's leave Sephiroth alongside someone else to watch around A short, around A lobby, and that does the trick.
Yeah. I also like how very quick Killua was in hitting that fault line. Wherever Potter was trying to, you know, dodge the bullets from Sephiroth and Laz, he still got hit and his teammates onto that fault line. So some big value plays there from Killua, even, you know, not being physically in the fight.
And they're going to do that same trip again. I think the fact that it's not getting broken early on now gives them a bit of information as well, that there isn't anyone holding or pushing out alongside A short as well as A long. So kind of getting a read for how some of the KK players might be positioned. Still though, drone back down B informs them to a little bit more as well. So Crazy Guy trying to keep them honest across several portions of the map. With the Southern Rolling Thunder, yo, what?
No information will be gathered there from the recon dart, but it should be a clean site take, all things considered. But here it comes, potential retake utility here from, well, Kimmy Kittens. No fear whatsoever, but look at the positioning on Potter, though! I love the pocketing of Potter, as now it's just going to be Crazy Guy and Ja. Make that just Ja on the Sentinel, but unfortunately, he's just gonna get, well, wiped off the face of the earth. That's going to be 4-8 in Full Sense. What a push into the A site.
Right there.
And we are back. Oh, yeah. Me and Quack are back, guys. Kimmy Kittens kind of lost that momentum at this, like those past, like 2 to 3 rounds, which gave Full Sense quite a bit of a beat down. And you were absolutely right? You were talking about that tripwire that I think gives them so much information because no one is fighting for, you know, a potential closer A main A house fight. You could just see how confident I think Full Sense was at just playing around the map and, you know, primarily looking and setting their sights on this A site.
Yeah, that was that first half. So now having swapped sides, we'll see how Kimmy Kittens adjust around it. They're actually just full creeping in towards A. They see the trip, they break it, it's simple, it's effective, and Leviathan not able to survive first contact. Crazy Guy will be the one to kick butt and take names, and then the spike getting planted soon enough. Okay.
Well, that's just going to be, again, transition into the post-plant. It is going to be quite difficult, I think, for Full Sense to get into the fight once more. Josk is going to hear all of this one, spot out Killua already. Potter will have to try to deal with the flank that's coming from behind him, which actually deals for quite well. But again, they're so separated, it is going to be just a bit of a battle. And there he comes Vera, just popping shots. And that's going to be that. Kimmy Kittens waste no time. Just, again, steal the round away.
Yeah, quick and effective to hold. I think Styron was just kind of like tapping or holding to see the spike, you know, if someone does start a bit of a, you know, that second phase of the retake. If someone throws like the fault line or flash or, you know, paranoia, things like that. But because he didn't see anyone, so it's just like a funny stalemate moment between both teams. But
yeah.
What is interesting, though, is the fact that Sephiroth actually holds on to the paranoia. So I think Full Sense just kind of recognized that, you know, we might not have the pistol round. Let's save this utility as well as a bit of money for the upcoming rounds. So now in with the second round of the second half, they stacked up over onto C site. Kimmy Kittens, though, slow and steady, all right, wanting to hold on to the advantage of, you know, a 5-round lead. Slow creep back in towards A long to clear.
Well, no one's going to be home at this point, right? And they will have, I think, a better setup to not get ecoed by full sense. I feel like that's a better chance on A side because you can just clear so much more angles. Sure, there can be that smoke on graffiti that makes it a little bit difficult, but when you're this close and that quick because of Vera, there's really no chance for the defenders, even if, again, full sense was there on A. In any case,
Yeah, not quite.
yeah, huge hold, huge push, all things considered. Full sense going to be having to play on a deficit.
Yeah, you can see it. Styron does it again. He taps and waits to see if there are any flashes. Because there aren't any, so he kind of knows that they're probably not fully approaching out from A link. So more attention over on 2 where Crazy Guy is. And he holds it down! Oh, fully expects it and does get a lineup as well. 3 kills to his name, Styron up for the next. And instantly seeing that no one else up around A link, they know Leviathan's roughly around heaven. They're already anticipating we're triangulating those positions, but oh, peeks at the end! They body blocked each other! Leviathan, he fights too! Whoa! I like this!
Yeah. That was disgusting. The 2 fadeaway kills for Leviathan. I mean, all things considered, that's pretty valid for him. But at the end of the day, it's Kim Kittens with already double digits here, man.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm just nervous because like Azar, they have the advantage. They've had round leads before, but then they also lost them. So
Yeah.
trying to keep in mind their guns for the next rounds.
I like it. I like it. It's, you know, it gives, again, a bit more confidence for full sense. But Kim Kittens,
Camera taken out.
okay, gonna get spotted very early here. Still, though, that was a good amount of answer by Killua by just, like, placing, or not Killua, rather, but Laz. It's getting very early recon dart and shock darts. Killua, I like how he holds his position here, but as soon as Vera gets contact, he's just send it right in. And boy, does he. Back of the site, though, there's the help coming out from Sephiroth, and they might have bitten off a bit more than they can chew here as Sephiroth, the one-winged angel, comes out to play. Leviathan also gets the flank against Ja. It's Crazy Guy, as well as Wayne, just trapped on C Long for the meantime as they're waiting for the smoke to dissipate, potentially. No, it's their own smoke, I think. Is it? Yeah, they're trying to get access into the site itself, but it's so damn difficult. They're going to have to push through this with just a Guardian and an Outlaw. And that's a rougher thing to really try to manage through.
Yeah, the only way that you might be able to do that is to throw off your opponent's crosshair with a recon initially.
30
Crazy Guy has
seconds
a chance to do that. Just as soon as the smoke dissipates, another one comes up, so needing to go for the recon bolt play now.
One enemy
But
remaining.
look at that, full sense, they just kind of avoid it. Bait it in towards peeking out, and Potter lands the initial shot. Leviathan has kind of regrouped with his teammates as well, so Crazy Guy has a slight chance of saving, but continuing to fight. Potter will win out in the duel. Full sense, all right, up to a bit of a 5th.
I'm out of here.
Okay. Quick little glance into the replay. Vera's just charging it down, right? But then you see how quickly Sephiroth just answers back. Kind of crazy stuff coming out from Full Sense here. They still have to climb up a pretty steep hill with a 5-round deficit against Kimmy Kittens. And again, Kittens, all they have to do is get those 3 rounds, man. Only 3 rounds. I wonder if it is easier said than done, as Full Sense does have a steely mental with the entirety of the team, and considering how, again, young this team is, in a way, right? Kind of crazy to think about it. Oh,
Spike
Sephiroth.
down mid.
It is impressive, but yes, you're right. Sephiroth does hold it from C-Link as well, and happens to spot someone out by the advantage of his angle. So, information for Full Sense that there are players around B, and you can see that the rest of them, you know, off of the initial kill as time passes by. Kimmy Kittens are not regressing back into B, so they're probably trying to head into either C or A. C, you've got the utility from Laz, so, you know, he's not too pressed about having to keep himself on the site. Meanwhile, the rest of the squad, though, it comes down to a bit of that A push. And the only one who might be within range is actually Leviathan. The rest of the team are actually marching down B, already interested in setting out that flank. Ja does spot them out with the camera, and that would be huge value. Spike going down.
That's pretty big for them, for sure. Now, that does force back Full Sense to go just the stock standard push and just go through this one angle here, but they're biding their time a little bit too much here, man. Is this going to cost them? That's going to be answer for answer paranoia as well. Laz, what a shot! That's going to be forcing out Wayne to just back away. And now it's all down to Ja. Can he actually manage to do this? No, he cannot. Leviathan just peeks him for the W. I thought there was going to be little time, but there's plenty of time for Full Sense to retake that one.
Out of charges.
And just as soon, you know, like, this is what I was nervous about. Although Kimi Kitten starts off the first half incredibly strong, incredibly fast, Full Sense still are able to fight back. Like you mentioned, Astron, with the Steely Mental, they just never quite back down, and they find these little gaps and these little lapses in moments where maybe it's a tiny angle out from C-Link where the smoke just dissipates away. And Sephiroth finds a frag, or, you know, the rest of the team are then able to deduce and work around the map that way. Kimi Kittens then, there's, like, having so much faith in their set plans and set plays that once they get into sight, they're trying to work around it, but Full Sense surprise them with players like Laz, who drop down from heaven, getting the initial pick off, and then flicking over at like 90 degrees to get the next one. So it's always so incredible to root for a team like Full Sense, even though Kimi Kittens has, you know, a pretty commanding lead right now. They need this timeout. They really need to calm themselves down and like figure out a decisive way to find more rounds, get to that map point first.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh wow, what a banger here set of rounds for Full Sense, right? Kimi Kitten's economy's just been pushed down to the dumps for the moment. Wayne is the one holding the shotgun. Oh, okay, there we go. Vera's gonna be the one with the Hero Phantom. I was wondering if maybe Vera's supposed to be the one with the, you know, the powwow in hand. That being said, though, very quick takes from Kimi Kittens, but it's an immediate exit. Sephiroth, though, I don't know if he wants to take this, make this hot take push. It's a little bit too heavy-handed. Ja, though, in a really weird spot. Holding an angle here, will get spotted by the rest of Full Sense. And here it comes! What a shot from Sephiroth! Tracks Crazy Guy through the wall! Here comes the push from Styron, and look at that! Wayne gets a double kill, but cannot get back in cover in time, and he falls, and Full Sense just wiped that under the rug. Sure, it's gonna be a plant for, well, Kimi Kittens, but all things considered, Full Sense slowly bridging the gap.
Yeah, right. It's like gargantuan effort coming out from players like Wayne. He senses his teammates are receiving contact inside a garage, so I gotta push. I gotta do what I can and find something, anything. I have just a Bucky, but I'm gonna try anyway. Pushes in towards the back of Spawn, the back of CT, and he actually does find a couple, but not able to, you know, find a safe moment enough to then pick up that rifle. And that's because Full Sense are just so activated. They get a couple of kills, they take down Ja, and they continue to peek and swing. Sephiroth just finds so many players like that. Next round comes up, and now Kimi Kittens finally trying to go for the A play. They put up a smoke of their own outside of A long, and they push on through. Leviathan, though, in with a drone, just sends one right through the smokes. He does find someone, and that's information enough. Full Sense will now keep 3 players stacked up on the A site to try and receive a possible incoming hit from Kimi Kittens.
And they're just about to open a can of worms here. What a shot from Wayne! He was already expecting it. Leviathan does fall down, and here comes the Rolling Thunder immediately, but they don't really expect Potter just holding the position at the back, the corner there. He was already so prepared to look the other way, and that was what? Styron's ultimate, well and used. Wayne just pulled the trigger already and went the other side. Got from the shadows to the C site. And this scrambles the defense of Full Sense. It does put a bit of strain, but they are re-encompassing the map just to make sure that they have their you know, sidelines considered, but look at the lurk from Ja. This is going to be quite important because there's 2 players from Full Sense playing the lurk, and Ja could have such a great flank, which actually works out in his favor, and it's kills all around the board. Don't worry, Potter's the only one left standing, and he's just going to try to traverse through. Gotta be careful, though, because he's about to spot out potentially crazy guy. And I think he's just giving it up.
Yeah, you gotta throw in the towel and just hold on to that rifle for a rainy day. You're so close to possibly completing a comeback. You have an overdrive and everything, but you still need it because your teammates are already gone in this round. So that's what it is. But this round, my God, Asteroid, I'm not entirely sure, but I do feel as though this has gotten Coach LXR written all over it. This was off of the timeout from before, and yeah, it didn't work out, you know, one of the previous rounds, but such a specific plan in which it's early A pressure, and then you have the from the shadows from Wayne just to cut the timing of things, and also for the rest of the team to be able to hold advantageous spaces like Garage as well as C Long, and it just breaks apart so much of whatever Full Sense had in store in the defensive setups. They've never been hit by a strat like this before, so. You know, now you're starting to feel the heat because you're up 7-11. One more round and Kimmy Kittens hits match point. You got 4 ultimates to work off of in Full Sense. They gotta show us something.
Wow, Vera is just sending it completely, but then Leviathan with the alley-oop swing. Oh my God. Never count out any of these teams, these players out, man. My goodness. I mean, I'd take that, right? A Hunter's Fury for Vera that's been zipping zapping all throughout the map. That slows down the offense of Kimmy Kittens as well, for sure, as they don't really have a reliable pierce into the Veil, or rather into the site. Oh, fight. Potter spots it, repositions. Good use onto the relay bolt to give him a bit of space. Aftershock as well, but it seems like Kimmy Kittens are pretty much prepared to do everything to hold on to this site. Killua holding at the back. Can't really push through just yet because of the flashes and everything, but he wants to go for the fight. Good damage altogether, and alongside Sephiroth deals with Kimmy Kittens.
That's insane. Just initial contact received by Potter. Sure, you know, the teammate falls, but first of all, Hunter's Fury, information enough. Potter still sticks close, lands a shot. Fast lane used as a smoke, and he repositions. But then Killua for the additional assistance. The fault line, and then Aftershock. He doesn't quite use his flashes because he assesses that it's not safe enough for him to pull out utility. And that helps him so much because he then confidently around the box on the A site. Just incredible stuff coming out from both teams right now. And you're still sitting on these 4 ultimates. From the side of Full Sense. Ooh. Alright, I am nervous. Alright, A, we're ignoring A long for now. Both smokes already sent out. Bit of mental conditioning. Drone doesn't see anyone. So Full Sense are informed as to what could be happening around B and C.
Well, if they're able to scare, or rather dissuade Full Sense... Or sorry, not Full Sense, but Kimmy Kittens... Whoa. What?
Oh.
Where did that come from? Oh, Lasto, he's been exposed. Oh, this is not good for him. He's gonna... Oh! That's not good for him, but how does he do it? How does he manage? Through the stun, through everything, through the flashes, he hits the one-tap kill. In Full Sense, that certainly dissuades Kimmy Kittens from going the other direction now. It's going to be a commitment, from what it looks like, onto the A site. That being said, though, Full Sense is slowly encroaching back as they clear up B. They know there's something amiss. There's no more noise around the map. You think, yeah, there it is. Planet Spike is about to go through. Wayne is at the back of things. There's the Rolling Thunder as well. It will hit the front of the site. The Aftershock, though, for a good delay play. The Relay Bolt, or rather Recon Dart, for a bit of that information. And here comes Potter as he goes in for the swing. A little bit too heavy-handed. And they are going through the meat grinder of Kimmy Kittens, having to deal with the one on Graffiti as well. And it's only Killua and Sephiroth in a 1 or a 2 versus 4. A slow approach from Crazy Guy gets spotted. Sephiroth, World of Hurt, and he will be 8-12, and Kimmy Kittens, they're on map point.
Match point.
There it is. The much coveted map point for the side of Kimmy Kittens, especially now converting some of these kills into close ultimates as well. might just give them a huge advantage coming over onto the next. Potter investing into an operator, trying to convert more rounds for full sense. But I gotta say, in some of these plays that back then, Wayne is not the loudest player, not the flashiest player, but he is providing so much stability to Kimmy Kittens in all these moments right now. That one round, those 3 kills, the fact that he took down Potter gave the team so much. Now continuing to hold for the side of Kimmy Kittens as well. Off towards the back lines as Potter holds in with the op. Angles held and the shot connects. Vera trying to fight back, but opportunity already slipped by.
That's a big one. Especially losing Crazy Guy. They don't have that recon dart anymore to help him out with the sight. And now they're going to be a little bit more concerned of where Potter is going to be situated at. Ja, if he wins this fight, it's going to be huge because he will get that neural theft as well. Lurk's so important from him, especially now that he's going to be on an island. That being said, though, I think they're actually making the call to go the other direction, but Laz feels it. Also heard it anyways, so now they're the ones who's going to get the information in. Doesn't really need to peek this, doesn't he? But I mean, he will. Tripwire will get triggered. And yeah, there's no way Kimmy Kittens will be taking the C side without any more casualties. But look at how far Potter has gone through. And he's just... Oh, I love the positioning from that
left.
one. Pushes somehow through A main. Now window. Now outside on mid. But Kimmy Kittens just going to go for the save.
I'm going to hang on close for now. They are very close to closing out this map potentially, but you can still see
10
just
seconds left.
the muscle that Full Sense have to really power through so many of these rounds. I mean, in this one, like you mentioned, trying to work their way across the map. Oh, wait. Sephiroth walks into it. All good for now. You know, just a bit of an out point maybe afforded. Wayne already has been sitting on his front shadow, so not too big of a deal. But yes, just Kimmy Kittens trying to work around the map a little bit. Ja on that lurk, you know, very crucial, yes. But I think as he backed away from the angle a little bit, you know, not quite finding the right timing that he wanted, his barrel might have been revealed just for, you know, a tiny glimpse, and Laz capitalizes on that. So that will be that round for now. But once again, up in the hands of Potter. A judge in the hands of Vera. Oh boy, Kimmy Kittens, what are you guys trying to cook up?
Well, they got themselves a double slide by, right? They got the initial slide, they got the overdrive slide, so I think they're trying to get, excuse me, the zip and zap from Vera.
Zip and zap.
Yeah. Potter is holding the long angle on C long, so this at least puts the brunt of the numbers of Full Sense to play on the right side of the map, which I honestly do prefer as well. Crazy Guy. And Leviathan. Oh, they heard it. Okay, now they know that something's up. Interesting.
Yeah. A little bit sussy, so needing to respect that for now. I mean, okay, Full Sense will keep players up and close, especially with Leviathan continuing to jiggle. That means that kind of eliminates the range of the judge that Vera has. But then again, that double slide. Vera fast lanes up, baits out the paranoia, and then backs away. Okay, mid-round already called early on by, I believe, maybe Crazy Guy. So straight back into C.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, they're still gonna have to go through this operator. That being said, oh, what a stun! That was huge! Now Potter, he's got the electric hands himself, the overdrive, maximizing the hold on the back of the C site. Ja on an island, doesn't realize, but the reaction on Potter! Where did Wayne even come from? Was that a shot at Sep? I think it was. In Full Sense, 10 to 12, eking out slowly these rounds against Kimmy Kittens.
Oh my god, Astra, it's happening again!
No.
Could be, it could be.
Yeah.
I'm holding my breath, kind of. I just caught a glimpse of, hey, look at how happy they are. Oh my god, Iron Man at the back. Just for like a tiny glimpse of it. Yes, the economy on the side of KK, it's not good. Timeout desperately called now. This might be, you know, a 13-11 sort of map, or it's either that or an overtime for Full Sense. So this is what it all comes down to. I mean, we're just seeing these moments where they're trying to work around the map, but Full Sense gets a good read for it. You know, the drone being sussed out, and then back on towards the other sides, even with Vera on the overdrive, even with the mid-round call being sent out. It's Potter who puts a stop to all of it. Has an overdrive of his own. Even with the op shot, maybe not quite connecting, but because of the side smokes being set up by his teammates, he's then able to slither around with his own electric hands, and he just kind of zaps down his opponents just so quick.
And as long as they can't really find an answer to, well, the zip and zap of Potter and his operator, it is going to be, I think, a very tall order for Kimmy Kittens. They are going to be just playing on a half buy at this point. That being said, though.
Okay, wait.
Okay.
TP's over, straight into Cubby, bypassing the smokes. KK are looking to launch a full assault into the A site. Potter has the angle from B, doesn't spot anyone, so probably trying to reinforce maybe from like A link. And then this falls down to, the responsibility falls onto the shoulders of these three players of Full Sense on the A site. But it just is the Alto being picked up for now. Trying to bait out the paranoia from Sephiroth, but he's holding on to that.
Yeah. Again, I think they don't really have to play. Yeah, as long as, yeah, there it is, right? Oof, the dash from Vera. I mean, he was dashing, but can really go through that. They can't really pop shots through the back of the site here just because of the stingers and everything. Reacting now to the flashes, but that's just a quick Sephiroth and Killua are for you. They just brush it off. One more round, and we're going to go to overtime.
Oh my god, that's right. This has to be now then, you know, that the effect of that timeout from before. Coach LXR, he called it for a reason. The full send into A not working out. It might work into mental conditioning for Full Sense, as we'll take a look into how they're going to reinforce this A site. Okay, op into A long. Potter is on it. Meanwhile, Kimmy Kittens completely ignoring A. Let's go. They're going into C, a bit of a C split. Can Laz withstand an incoming push? Oh, Vera.
Off your feet!
Oh, here we go. Rolling Thunder into the site. No one's home for the moment. Paranoia not going to be connecting into anybody, but it's a play on the back of things. Laz trying to jump up the flashes. How good can he convert these kills? Looks like it's pretty damn good as he gets two. Sephiroth as well at the back of the site. You can't see Wayne trying to force his way into victory, and Crazy Guy cannot manage to do so as there's just too many bodies to deal with at the back of things in Full Sense. From what was what? How many rounds was that? All the way up to 12-12.
We started 8-4, Asterai! We're here! It's happening again! We had a 15-17 on map 2, and here on map 4, it's the same story, the same result. Kimmy Kittens, they had a huge lead, but somehow Full Sense were able to turn and flip the tables around. It's good macro plays coming out from both sides. Kimmy Kittens, they had a game plan. They wanted to condition Full Sense into holding onto A, and they did. But when it comes down to the execute on the C site, that just got thrown out of the field because Laz just had the positioning up around on top of logs and also working around the smokes. I mean, just Sephiroth is quick to assist his teammate like that. So good.
Yeah.
Swapping sides now. And it's Full Sense on the attack. Back in with that very purposeful trip, but Kimmy Kittens aren't breaking it. Camera, though.
Yeah. I don't think they want to as well, because once you try to get out in the open, you just get shot, and then, you know, what can you really do for yourself? Potter is just so fast. And look at that. He's gotten him for the one already. A little bit too over-flicking for our taste, sure, but is going to be the take on the site already. The dash from Vera as well, and what a shot alongside Win as well, who picks up the 3K all the way from C-Link. It's pretty huge stuff. And Kimmy Kittens... All right.
Match point.
As it should be. Match point again for them.
This is where I'm scratching my head, though, Asteroid, because it's like, you did so much in the early phase of the round by placing the crib, having the camera there, you spotted out, or you baited out Vera with some of his utility, and then you just full send into B without, you know, much else. I mean, sure, you're thinking nobody's might be positioned there, but you need a little bit more, guys. And they just run into it, and they get spammed through A as well as C link. So it's a little bit unfortunate, but nonetheless, Full Sense now back on the defense, which is where they mounted their comeback. Let's see what they can do.
Shock dart.
Well,
Wow.
Take flight.
yeah, you can see just how slow I think right now Kimmy Kittens are playing. Aggressive smoke.
Oh, drones passing by each other.
Yeah.
It's a Kimino Nawa moment.
They shouldn't be able to see each other though. Ooh. Leviathan, how ballsy are you? Push through the smoke, hold through the smoke. Vera's about to go for the... Oh my god, he's just at the corner of this. And they might actually just push him.
He's dead.
Oh, that is so unfortunate. Vera's now going to be just looking at the back of the site here, using that fast lane to get through. Killua gets one. Although, hold on, where did Sephiroth come from? The stun as well. It's a 1 versus 1, but no, he doesn't know where Laz was. He had the neural depth. All he had to do was wait for the ping.
Switching
Oh my
sides.
goodness.
Overtime.
It works out. It's a little bit unfortunate for Ja. Tried to get ahead of it. I mean, he must be feeling the pressure of the moment. But down to it at the end, I mean, you talked about the mental resiliency of some of these Full Sense players, and definitely shows. They might have lost a player early on. Leviathan, you know, a little bit of an unfortunate scenario with the recon ball, but even if he dies, it is information enough. And the whole of Full Sense are quick to go in for it. They know Kimmy Kittens, they don't really go for these mid-round plays where they rotate back around. We're good. Let's all push in. Let's all assist Sephiroth as well as Killua. And they do just that. And because of these quick reactions, they find the trades. They find the pushes as soon as Kimmy Kittens push into sight, and they're able to fend them off. I mean, just look at how Sephiroth is able to play around his own smoke, and how he's able to play around the site that way. Peeks out of A-short, well, around the A-short area, and has that slight off angle into players who are trying to push out of A-long, and it's just so much value found from this one guy who's been putting up huge numbers, Sephiroth, all throughout this, you know, second half as we close in on this overtime. So back into it, Asarai.
Yeah.
OT2. This is where Full Sense have been struggling, though, on the attack.
Yeah. And look at how you were mentioning Sephiroth, right? 12 assists already on the man. So he's either the one hitting the crucial, well, paranoias obviously, or as you mentioned, just being able to, well, get the finalizing kill on the assists, whoever he's just, or the finalizing kill on whoever he's suggesting. Ooh. I like the reposition on the tripwire from Jado that does not break the tripwire for the moment. I wonder if it's gonna get anything for him. At least for now, he's gonna just hide around the corner. Potter's already gotten one, and Ja is just hiding, you know, on his bed of roses for the meantime. But he does get spotted out by Killua, who does check the angle. It's gonna be just a little bit too hurtful here for Kimmy Kittens as they play at the back of the site. Crazy Guy responds for 2. And all the way from downtown, it's going to be Vera rotating from A. And here comes the steep hill climb he has to go for to give a round for Kimmy Kittens. It's a 3 versus 1.
Way too tough. Sure, he's got the full... You know, I shall do what Asarai says. He's got the whole enchilada. But I don't think an enchilada is going to be enough. You need something like a Crunch Rep Supreme, Asarai. He gets it to half, though. Oh, okay, on the spike. Got some cheese, you got some sauce. Is it hot enough? You got the Hunter's Fury from the other side. He baits it out, goes in for the spray, tags down Sephiroth. Now tries to stick on towards the end, baits out the final beam, and Laz holds for the angle. Goes in for the burst. Full Sense picks up an attack round.
Oh well. Switching
Okay,
sides.
those Hunter's Furies were not connecting, but it was keeping him honest enough, even through that half of the defuse. But yeah, this was so difficult to be in, because again, you kind of expect that maybe the Cypher, you know, Ja with his tripwires would give him an advantage or whatnot, but it has not. And now the turn of the script for the first time in a long time, this fourth map, we have Full Sense in the lead. One more, and this is already series as well. They will be the champions for Split 1. We've gotten through so much already, and this is the point where potentially all things converge and all things come to a conclusion.
And Crazy Guy's making the calls. He's trying to set his team up across the map a little bit more this time. A presence already made known. Bit of a recon in towards C. Wait, did he? No, I don't know where that recon went. But nonetheless, what I'm worried about is I don't think he spotted out Potter by C Cubby. So they're going in straight through garage, a bit of a trap wire being tripped. And they're really slowing things down because they're feeling that pressure of the fact that this could be the whole series. Oh, Potter.
They're just so close to each other. They shouldn't give up Crazy Guy's spot there too. I think this is also one of Crazy Guy's, you know, chinks in the armor. Because he's IGLing so hard, there will be moments where he just has a lap of judgment with the positioning that he has like this, and Potter just, again, converts the kill. There's no harm for him to hold this C long because no one's going to be flanking. The call right now for the rest of Kimmy Kittens is go the other direction where you can see that, well, Ja has opened up that A site, but the thing is, wait, they're 20 seconds. They have to start running into the A site.
Oh, they gotta make a sprint for it. Ja's already here, though.
Oh, this is big.
Cage
Yep.
triggered.
Okay, this should have...
seconds
Wait,
left.
hold on. How close is it going to be? Oh my god, 6 seconds left onto the clock. Are they going to be able to stop the plan on the spike? No, Styron's going to be able to tank it, so he's fine. He will be down to half, though, after those 2 shock darts, but that is still going to be a post-plant.
Gets in the position to continue to stall in with the aftershock as well. Does have the bomb line ready too. But here comes Potter from the back. Leviathan up from above. And that's the whole game right there. In an instant. 2 kills for each of the players on the full sense side. And Kimmy Kittens got absolutely decimated down into smithereens. That's 15-13. And here are your grand finals champions from split 1 of the VCL SEA full sense.